All right, we're back. We are back. Let's see, pop out chat. Here we go. What up? What up? What up? Moderation activity, send community moderation. All messages are visible. Fan funding. What's up, everybody? We just got started here. The live on YouTube. How does the live on YouTube look? Andre, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming back. How long did it take you for you to leave the lens cap off and keep your screen open on your first cap? What do you mean? Coop, I'm not doing reviews right now, Coop. How's your stuff been going, though? You been getting better? Yeah, have lots of booking late. Great, man. That's great to hear. Yeah, getting booked is half the battle, man. Most people never get to that point, you know? So that's great, man. That's really good to hear. Right now, guys, we're doing Andre says, I get very anxious about that stuff for my first cam. Did not want to scratch it or anything. So for the scratching thing, I have screen protectors on the back of my screen for all of my cameras. And then also I do have UV protectors that are pretty cheap. I just buy a UV protector for most of my lenses when I store them. I don't use UV protectors for like when I'm shooting. I take them off. But yeah, I was pretty anxious about that as well. So I have screen protectors and I have UV protectors on top of the lens, and then I put a lens cap on that. Why the UV protector is important is in case the lens cap is easy to fall off. So like it'll come off relatively easy. But even on this lens, which is a really expensive lens, I have a protector on it. This one's not UV, but it's a cheap black diffusion filter. And that way I know that if I happen to lose my lens cap or I happen to put it somewhere and somebody bumps into it or something happens, what will get damaged it incidentally, um, like not intentionally, will be the cheap UV filter or the black diffusion filter. So I'm serious. On all my lenses, like I keep a filter on top, and this I just kind of leave laying around, and that way I can like just leave it the way it is. And actually, you guys, I'm working on my Ryan H. What up, Ryan H? YouTube. Where's YouTube at? Is YouTube here? 0 viewers on YouTube. Oh my god. Is it public? Yep. Ads automator. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's see. Oh, damn. Lots of questions. Can you check out my Insta? I already said no. Yeah, I have lots of bookings lately. Yeah, I actually working for Duke Lacrosse today. Sick, bro. I bought the new SD card because mine was slow as hell. Yeah, you got to get a V60 or a V90 at a minimum, you guys. At a minimum. What type of Canon is that? Which Canon, bro? Do you have an Elgato Stream Deck? I do. Actually, I have a top-down view right here, guys. I don't know if you guys can see my my desk here, but here on top of my desk I have two Elgato Stream Decks, and check it out, I have sound effects. Does this work? There you go. We're just trying to get better at streaming, guys. That's all. That's all. Which is the best budget camera to buy for videography? The R50V, for sure. Which do you prefer, manual focus or autofocus? Most of the time I'm on autofocus, but I will pop it into manual focus when I need to get control over it, for sure. I got a Canon T7 for free. Free is the best, man. Yo, off topic, you have a vlogger look-alike, like in the Philippines. Yeah, I know. He looks like me, though. I don't look like him. Burong, I think is his name, right? Actually, people should send him. You guys should send him my link. Maybe we can collab on something. That'd be kind of cool, right? Do you know anything about Nikon? Just the Nikon ZR, the Nikon Z50, a little bit about the Z6 and the Z8. Nothing about the Z9, a little bit. Hey, I'm a newbie in photography weather actually, and my only gear is a 500D. Okay. Do you have any tips on how to have my Stream Deck do this? Because I just have mine collecting dust. What do you mean, bro? You just need a... What do you want it to do? Stream Decks are really, really impressive, man. They can do a lot of things. DJ Action 6 worth it? I think so, yeah. Y'all need to do a collab. Yeah, anytime I see somebody say that person's name, Burong, I think is his name, I'm just going to ask them to send them my stream. Can I have tips for a DSLR? Use it, Typhoon Hunters. Use it. Mine says error, like press the shutter button again. Huh. My first setup is a Canon R7 and a 100-400 Mark II. Sick, bro. Yeah, yesterday I was playing around with my setup yesterday, and I didn't like this angle, so I made some changes to it. So I made some improvements to it. Sound effects, connecting my voice, audio. That's a pretty I mean, I can help you one-on-one on that, me Poppy, but there's no... You can do all the research yourself, man. I just went to YouTube and learned how to do all this, and that's pretty much it. Routed the camera angles. Now I have like the display right here that I can bring up. I can bring down the top down whenever I want to show you guys cameras. You know, show you guys cameras and stuff. I can also... I figured out why the autofocus was missing sometimes. It's because I have my autofocus set to my hand, so it wants to like... Man, the autofocus is struggling today for some reason. I'll have to work on fixing that next to see what's the best feature, and then switching over to this guy. Also, I am live on YouTube, so part of this whole little thing that I'm doing, guys, is that I'm trying to get better at multi-streaming. So I'm learning how to manage multiple chats. So I need to figure out how to get the same chat on the same, like multiple chats from two platforms on the same one. YouTube, right? Like how to put sound effects? Yeah. Do you have a Canon 4000D? If so, any tips? Tips for photographers, guys? You guys are asking all the exact same question. You guys want to know tips. Tips. The only tip that's going to do you guys any good is to use your camera every single day. Use it every single day. And now you guys might be saying, well, that's a lame fucking tip. Do it. Do it, and about 2 weeks, come back and let me know what you learned. The problem is that, you know, when you guys aren't using your camera every single day, you haven't encountered any problems for you to solve. And that's where you get better, when you start uncovering problems in like your photography, in certain situations. Like today it's overcast. What should I do with my settings? Today it's really bright sun. What should I do with my settings? Like asking for tips is like, unless you have a specific problem, it's kind of tough. Thank you for the roses. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Is the Sony A7 II still good? Yeah. A7 III still good. YouTube, right? Yep, YouTube. Do you have a Canon 4000D? I have an XM5. Any recommended lens? The XM5. I think I like that XM5 actually. Fuji XM5. For Fuji films, I really like the what's it called? I really like the wide angle lenses. Yeah, crop sensor. I really like the 16 millimeters, the 23 millimeters. I don't have a specific lens, but it really depends on what you guys want to do, you know? What you guys want to shoot. What did you say the camera you liked was? The R50? Yeah, I like the R50, the R50V. Right now on my stream, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this. No, you guys are on TikTok. So I have two cameras right now. Three cameras actually. One is the R10 and one is the R50. If you guys are interested in seeing the other angle, I should have done that, but oh well. The other angle is on YouTube. I have an A7 V and need a second body. What do you recommend? A7 IV or another A7 V? R50 is so, especially for beginners. Yeah, the R50 is great, dude. I love recommending the R50. You know why the R50 is good? It's because it has practically almost everything you need for a newbie or for a normie to get started with, and it also has just enough features that you like can grow into it a little bit, you know, and then you realize, oh, okay, this is nice. This is nice. Now I need stabilization. I need IBIS. Now I need X, Y, and Z, and you just get a little bit better, you know. Best lenses for the Sony 6400. Guys, the best lenses for any crop sensor camera, in my opinion, is the here I'll show you guys, is the Sigma F 1.4 Trio. These lenses right here. These are freaking fantastic, guys. They actually have a couple more lenses that they've added to this lineup. It's the F 1.4 lineup from Sigma. It's perfect for, you don't have to buy all three of them, of course, but owning all three of them is really, really nice. Start with the 16. Oh, my alarm's going off. Start with the 16, start with the 23. Or the 30 millimeter is here too. Yeah, since this has come out, the Sigma Trio was pretty popular. Did I make a video on this? I think I made a YouTube video on this. They've come out with a 23, a 12, a 15, and I think that's it. And then they've added some, no, that's pretty much it for the 1.4s. These are the lenses that you want for your crop sensor camera. 100%. Best lenses. I recently bought a Canon C50 and the Sony FX3. Which lens should I buy for filmmaking? Which lens should you buy for the filmmaking? You can check out the VCM lenses. Those are really nice for the Canon. But really, the 24 to 70s are great. The G Master for the FX3, something with some versatility. How to color grade S-Log2. Just spend time with it. Just learn. What would be a good for travel, vlog, live streaming? Like IRL streaming? I actually don't know a lot about IRL streaming and like all of the hardware that's needed to do that. For vlogging style, though, a small camera with a 16 millimeter or 12 millimeter lens is really good. The camera that you guys are watching me on TikTok is right now is a R50. No, I'm sorry, an R10 with a 23 millimeter. Yeah, you guys are watching me with, let's see. I'll show you guys. Sigma 23 millimeter. This lens right here. This is a really nice lens, guys. And that's what you guys are seeing me on the R10. This lens is really good. It's available for Canon RF, Fujifilm, the L mount, and the E mount. What's your YouTube? You guys can find my YouTube. It's TMV Visual Media, but you can find it in my profile picture, in my link in bio. Everything's listed there. Right now, I'm live on YouTube, but I'm using a different camera over there. I'm using a wide angle camera where I'm actually using the 12 millimeter. So if you're interested in checking that out for whatever reason, it's a super wide lens, super duper wide lens. 12 millimeters is nuts. Sony A7 IV is good, yes. Which lens can you recommend for portraits on a Sony A7 III? Probably the nifty 50 to get you started, Isaac Sanchez, unless you want something more like premium, like an f1.2. The 50 f1.2, the 85 f1.2, or the Sigma f1.4. Those are really nice. We got one viewer on YouTube, kids. One viewer. Last night we did okay. Yesterday morning we did a lot better. We had like, at one point we had like 6-7 people. If you guys do hop over to YouTube, make sure to drop a subscribe. Looking for content ideas over there. Thanks. Isaac Sanchez, what do you have currently, Isaac? What are you currently using, bro? Everybody that's sitting in the chat over in TikTok, let me know what you guys currently have and what you guys actually, what kind of content. Do you guys even create content? Do you even create content, bro? A7 III, nice, nice. I want to upgrade from the Nikon D5000 to a Sony A6000. Okay, cool. Eric Rose, ZVE 10 II. I have a ZVE 10 II. Very, very nice. I like it a lot. I'm starting. I was using a Canon T6i. Oh, sick, bro. And you got what, Isaac? Remind me. Oh, you got an A7 III? Yeah, yeah. Check out the Nifty 50, bro. If you're just getting started, the Nifty 50, you should find it for, like, also known as the Plastic Fantastic. The Plastic Fantastic. Let's actually look it up for you. Let's check it out. See, 50 millimeter f1.8 Sony E mount. Yeah, look, this is it right here. $228. Also, for all of you, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you are in the world. Everybody needs to own a Plastic Fantastic. You guys have to have this lens in your kit. Not because it's the best lens in the world, but because it's under 300 bucks. You can find this lens, the Nifty 50 as it's known as, the Plastic Fantastic, for right around this price for almost every single mount. And every single one of you, besides the kit lens, the shitty kit lens that your camera came with, this should be your next purchase. This or a 16 millimeter are really, really nice, depending on what you do, you know. This 50, as soon as you put this lens on here, the Nifty 50 onto your camera body, when you've been just using shitty kit lenses your whole life, you're going to be like, holy fuck, boys. The Nifty 50, Plastic Fantastic. People say the ZVE 10 tends to overheat. Is that true? All cameras overheat depending on the conditions that you put it in, you guys. So it could overheat, yeah, for sure. Can you guys hear music, by the way? Is music playing? It should be like super subtle, though. Sally on Visuals, what up? What genre of photography do you do? I do all kinds of whatever pays me, really. I have an A7 IV. I want to switch to Canon. Which one of the Canons you recommend for weddings and photos? Probably the R6 Mark II or Mark III. Why do you want to switch from the Sony? Is this for a Sony A7 IV? This E-mount lens? It's an E-mount, so it's for any Sony. Any E-mount body. RF35. RF35 is nice. Yeah, for sure. Lumix S9. I was checking out the Lumix S9s the other day, guys. The Lumix S9s look really interesting. The only thing that I would be concerned about, really, is, like, the grip. The grip looks awful, dude. I would get it because I like the colors, Like I would totally be the guy that got like pink or red, or even like mint green looks really cool. One, it's super expensive, but it is a full frame. It is a full frame camera. No kit. Yeah, I'd get something like this with a no kit. Yeah, for sure. It is a little. Oh, they're. Oh, look, they got a pink tax on this one. Ouch. Just because it's pink, it's probably because it's less. There's less of them out there. But I would totally get a pink one. But regardless, what I'm saying about this one is that it looks really cool. It is expensive though, so that's kind of tough. I would prefer to get the S52X or the S52. But this has like zero grip on it, so that'd be kind of tough. Should I keep shooting my content on an A7 II or should I spring for an FX30? Will I notice the difference? You'll notice the difference in your workflow, not necessarily in the video necessarily. At least I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Damn, 10 messages. Let me go down to the bottom. Hey, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? We got three followers on, I mean, three people on YouTube, guys. What are you guys up to? Using a Z7 II, don't know why people don't like it. What is a Z72? Don't even know what that is. I didn't know people didn't like that. I don't even know how to say Ladu Gadu. Ladu Gadu. Do you hate Sony? No, not at all. Not at all. What do you think of the lens 70 to 350 APS-C? Sounds like a kit lens to me, or sounds like a variable aperture lens. Would you recommend just getting more glass instead of a new body then? If you're getting paid, you need to have at least 2 bodies. If you're just a hobbyist, any body really does well until you run into some limitations that you encounter in your own niche. And only you will really know about that, right? When you hit them. But more often than not, besides like a 20-year-old body, 30-year-old body, anything within the past 10 years is still really solid, dude. Really, really solid. Nikon. Got it. Well, that's why people don't like it, because it's a Nikon, bro. Nikon is one of the most hated brands for some reason. They just have terrible branding and terrible marketing. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I'll say that their branding is nowhere near what Sony and Canons and Fujis are. Another comment from YouTube. All right, YouTube. Thank you for commenting. Is the Sony A7 III still usable in 2026? Hell yeah. I'm a beginner and have been using the Sony 64 for the last 2 years. I want to switch to full frame. Yeah, dude, the A7 III is good. We were looking at the A7 III yesterday. And here's what I wanted to show you guys. Sony A7 III. This was coming to my attention. If you guys look at the Sony A7 III, add this to the compare, right? By the way, guys, you guys need to check out B&H and use the compare feature that they have. It's really, really handy. Check this out. So a brand new A7 IV and a brand new A7 III, guys, $1,700 versus $22,000. That's a price difference of... let's do some math real quick. That's a price difference of $500. And for $500, not only can you see the price comparison here when you do this, but you can also see the specs side by side. So for an extra measly $500, it's my opinion that within a $500 price range, I think it's worth saving up those extra $500 to get a much newer camera with a lot more advanced features on it. That's for you guys to decide, but looking at these like side by side, $500 is totally worth it just for the increased megapixels. 24 megapixels compared to 33 is I think a worthy like investment. And also do yourself a favor and check out the used prices on these things, you know? Nah, it's a G Master 7350. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that lens, buddy, unfortunately. What camera can you recommend for travel shots? Been eyeing the Insta360 Ace Pro. or the Sony I like the Insta360s, the action cameras. Those are really nice. 4 viewers on YouTube. I'm planning to buy. Yeah, check out the used prices on both those cameras. Sanajon Raj Kumar. Yeah, check out the used prices for sure, man. Because the used prices are gonna be right around the same kind of like difference, you know. Like the price gap is gonna be similar. How is the A92? Excellent, excellent. You already know the A92. Those are top tier cameras, guys. All most modern cameras, man. They don't put out shitty cameras, dude. They really spend a lot of time developing this technology. That when they finally do put something out, it's rarely like, excuse me, it's rarely bad. Yeah, it's rarely bad. How am I looking over on YouTube, guys? I feel like my preview of my YouTube window is like a little hot. Maybe I can take down this window a little bit. I'll split the difference. Now I probably need a little bit more light over here. Just a little bit of kick. There we go. Yep, cool. Live is 48 capped. 480p capped. Interesting. Is that on YouTube? Let me see. It looks good. What do you mean? My preview just looks shitty. Hey, 5 people in YouTube. What up, YouTube? That's kind of cool, dude. That's wild. One of them's probably me, though. TikTok is capped at 480. Yeah, but TikTok always looks good, in my opinion. TikTok always looks good to me. Yeah, this looks really nice. Let's see. Quality. Yeah, I'm shooting 1080 over on YouTube. So that's good. Yep, happy with that. Cool. TikTok. Let's check out TikTok real quick. You guys never answered me about the music. Is there actually music playing right now, guys? Richard Jimenez. Thank you for the follow. Is there music playing right now, boys? Boys and girls? Yeah, there's music. Yeah, it sounds good. Cool. What camera should I buy for travel and content creation? R50V or the ZVE-10-2. Yeah, the ZVE-10-2. Am planning to buy used. Nope. What are you saying nope to, Sanajon? Sir, how to avoid fungus? Why is that's like the second fungus question I've had today. What's going on? Thanks, buddy. Is it okay for photos too? Yeah. Yeah. Those two cameras don't have viewfinders, but they work good. If you want a viewfinder and a good camera like that is good for everything, check out either the R7 from Canon or the Sony 6700. YouTube, you're quiet. YouTube, what's going on over there? I feel like people on YouTube are a lot more. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's the UI. It's the UI that they're not encouraged to like to chat, because on TikTok the chat is like really prominent. It's like on the video and you see people interacting and stuff. But on YouTube it's kind of like off to the side a little bit where it's not overlaid on the screen. You know what I'll do one day? I will I will connect both chats and then overlay it on YouTube, not on TikTok, because TikTok already has their own thing. But I'll overlay it on YouTube. That's what I'll do. And Hasselblad, if possible. I'm planning on doing. I can't hear it on YouTube. I just heard it on YouTube. Let's check it out. We'll check it out. Let's check it out. We'll check it out. It's there. It's there, but it's super quiet. I'll bump it up a little. It's there. It's there, but it's super quiet. I intentionally have it like really, really quiet. Yeah, I intentionally have it like super quiet. Thank you, Sanjon, by the way. I did bump it up just a smidge. Thanks, buddy. Is it okay? I'm planning on doing photography and want a camera that's simple but customizable under 1K and Hasselblad if possible. I don't think you can get a Hasselblad for $1,000. Maybe, not that I know of. Thanks for the help. Sure. For those of you guys that are just joining over on TikTok and YouTube, if you haven't subscribed or followed already, please consider doing so. I'm currently multi-streaming on both platforms, just trying to get. I think I figured out how to live stream on TikTok and how to like do all that interface with the UI and like set up all the things. YouTube though is what I'm working on next. Is just trying to get better at that. What's your current camera and lenses now for this live? Right now, I'm using a Canon R10. That's this camera right here. And it is a Canon R10 with a 23mm lens from Sigma. Do you think $580 for a secondhand Fujifilm X200 is a good deal? I'm not sure. I have no idea. What programs are you using for your streaming, and how you make your streaming in both platforms? So I have something called OBS. OBS is a streaming software, open broadcast software, and I have two cameras over there, three cameras over here, and those three cameras are getting sent to YouTube and getting sent to TikTok. And that's how I can control. I can have a top-down view right here where I can show you guys my cameras and kind of like, why is the it's like not locking on. I wonder why that is. I think I need to set the autofocus. I need to play around with the autofocus over there. And then I have another display where I pop up my screen here whenever I need to show you guys something. Yesterday I was using just one camera and I didn't like the look of the vertical layout, so I put in a second camera. Yeah, I put in a second camera. Or a third camera. Is there much of a difference between the R6 Mark III and the C? There's a big difference. Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's a big difference. Not just in price, but in the capabilities of the Rave Trooper. Hey, hey, hey. How many cameras do you have? I have a lot. I have a lot of cameras. Welcome to the live chat. 2 viewers on YouTube. All right. How is Nikon, like the Nikon ZF, for travel and content creation? I haven't done a lot of Erland. Didn't I already give you a recommendation? What was wrong with the recommendation that I gave you? Nikon ZF 1800. Let me look at that camera. It's expensive. Looks nice though. 24, 4K 30, Full HD 120. Looks nice. Yeah, it looks pretty good. But then you have to have a Nikon, bro. That's the problem. It looks nice. Like it's probably one of the better looking Nikons I've seen in a long time. Nikon is not my favorite, but it looks capable. What's a good Fujifilm camera with IBIS for hybrid shooting? I don't know many Fujifilms for hybrid shooting. I don't really use Fujifilm like that. I'm waiting on my Sigma 16 f1.4 today. I'm only do streaming. Nice, dude. You're gonna love that setup, dude. I was gonna switch this lens to a 16 millimeter, but I decided to stick with the 12. How about for Sony? Can you recommend something? The A7 IV, A7 IV, and the A7 V. I edit photos on iPhone 14 Pro right now. Should I start editing photos on my Mac? Yes. Thanks. The R50V is really, yeah, it's $600, dude. It's $600, 650 or whatever. Pair that with a nice lens, dude. That's what I have right here, the R50V, by the way. This is the R50V with the 17 to 40. Really nice combo, dude. R50V, 17 to 40 Sigma, f1.8. If you have this camera and this lens combination, you're fucking set, dude. You don't need nothing. You don't need nothing, bro. Nice setup, sir. Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Can you recommend a more cheaper camera than the A7 IV? A7 III? I have read a lot, believe me, a lot, that Sony is the best. Sony is not the best. Canon is the best. Canon is number one. Torn between the ZV-1 or the Nikon ZR. Ooh, depends, man. They're about the same price. I would definitely go with the Nikon ZR, though. Yeah, definitely go with the Nikon ZR. Oh, we got a comment over on YouTube. Can you recommend a lens for an M4 camera? What's an M4 camera? Is that a Canon M4? No, what's the M4? Just the lenses are the issue? No, the lenses are the best on Canon. The lenses are the best. They're more expensive, sure, but if you're concerned, if you guys are trying to get premium gear, premium lenses and stuff, and you guys are concerned about prices, you should focus on your finances. These things, these camera lenses, they're not like, you know, cameras and lenses and all this stuff. They're not necessities. They're luxuries. Especially if you are like a full-time content creator, upgrading from lenses to lenses, like, you know, they pay for themselves. They pay for themselves in their quality. If you're just a hobbyist, that's fine too. You know, then stick with Sony. Sony's a lot more affordable, but Sony, in my opinion, does do a lot of nickel and diming, and this is from somebody that owns a Sony. I got the A7 III. Should I get the A7 V or the? You should, if you're looking to upgrade, get the best, Abe. Torn between the XM5 or the T30. Ooh, which one has the A7 Mark IV? Get a 24-70. Tell me the best 50 millimeter lens for the A7 Mark IV is the G Master 50 millimeter. No, dude, I was saying between Nikon and Sony. Oh yeah, Sony is definitely better than Nikon in my opinion. Nikon is expensive too, though, man. What do you think about the Sony A60s? I like the Sony A6700. 50 millimeter 1.8 250 was a steal. Hell yeah, dude. That's the plastic fantastic, man. Plastic fantastic. Every single one of you needs to own that lens. I recently gave mine away, actually. Which combination would you prefer? Option 1, 16 to 35 plus a 50 millimeter, or 24 to 70 and a 35. I'd probably do option 1. I like the 16 to 35 focal range. Yeah, I definitely like the focal range. Can you recommend a lens for filmmaking in Sony Ace? 24 to 70. 24 to 70 RJ. What do you currently have, and what kind of filmmaking do you wanna do? Do you think it's okay for weddings and stuff like this? Great specs, no doubt about it, but what's your lens suggestions for a Sony A7 IV for music videos and photos? Shots by J Real. It just depends on what kind of video. If you need like the maximum versatility, 24 to 70. If you need like, you know, I've always liked the 15 to 35 focal range a lot more than the 24 to 70, only because I find myself in situations where I need to be wider more often than I need to be like punched in at 70. Do you have an R3 and R1? I do not. I do not. Yeah, for filmmaking, it just really depends on what you guys are actually filming. You know, what you guys want to create. You know, and besides the nifty 50, the plastic fantastic that every one of you guys should own, at least in your kit at some point. All of you guys need to be making your way towards owning the holy trinity of lenses. Do we know what the holy trinity of lenses are, guys? How do you control overheating in your R8, bro? My R8 doesn't overheat, bro. Kind of getting bored with the M50. It just lacks detail for me. You should get a new lens, bro. The M50 was nice, dude. 5 viewers on YouTube. All right, boys. All right. We're getting close. Getting close. Is the A7 III good? It is. It is good. What about the Canon M50 Mark II? What about it? Canon M50 Mark II is nice. It's a little bit older, but it's still a nice little camera. Is a Sony A7 IV enough for beginners? Fucking right, it is. With the Viltrox adapter. Yeah, get something different, Doti. Get a different lens. Get something a little bit shorter. Yeah, I have a 24 to 70 G1. Does nobody know what the holy trinity of lenses is? You guys are really showing how much of a normies you guys are. You guys are a bunch of noobs. Holy Trinity, come on. It's pretty common. What up, Burks? What camera are you using? For this, I'm using a Canon R10 with a 23 millimeter. Holy Trinity, there it is. Snapshot Dreams, my man. My man. Shots by J Real. That's a holy trinity too. Yeah, for sure. I like that one. The primes. There's a holy trinity of primes for sure. And I love that 35 millimeter prime, dude. That 35 millimeter prime is sick. Yeah, 100%. 100%. What up, Burks? Another comment from the YouTube. What up, YouTube? Can I do photography as a full-time career? Is there any risk in it? My hobby is photography. There's always risk in everything that you do, bro. There's always risk in everything that you do. Being a career photographer, you know, as long as you find out how much money you need to make, there's no, you know, there's no, like, what risk are you talking about? There's risk in anything that's worth doing. You know what I mean? 35 1.4. Yeah, 35 1.4 is sick, dude. The 30 1.4 from Sigma is also really nice. Do you use a capture card for live streaming? Yeah, I have a capture card that has, I can show you guys actually. This is the capture card that I use. I forget what it's called though. I know the brand. Elgato 4M input capture card. I don't think they make it anymore. Yeah, this one. This is what I use in my PC. Maybe they do make it again. For a while it was discontinued. So this is going into my PCIe, one of my PCIe lanes on my custom PC, and I have 4 right now. I'm using 3 of the outputs, 1 camera, 2 cameras, and 3 over here. On TikTok, you guys can't see the 3rd camera or the 2nd camera because this is YouTube is taking up that one. But I have this camera right here that you guys can see on both platforms, and then this one I have this split into 2 scenes, one on TikTok, which is the Canon R10, and then on YouTube, if you guys are curious, I'm not asking you to go there, but check it out if you want to, is a 12 like a super wide where you guys get to see almost my entire room. I just want holy duality 24 to 50 f2 and a 50 to 150 f2. That sounds nice, man. That's a nice combo. I don't know if they make a 20 to 50, but yeah, they might. But the 28 to 70 I think is the one. Do they make a 20 to 50? That'd be nice. That's a nice range though, man. I have an option to get a Sony A7 III with a Tamron 28 to 75 f2.8 for 1500. Should I get it? That's about what that camera costs brand new, 1500. It does come with a lens though. I don't know, man. Careful it's not a scam. Where are you buying it from? Just be careful you don't get scammed. Get a full-time job to fund a photography gear, haha, then get some clients on the side. That's exactly it, Toti. That's it. That's exactly how I did it. And then I replaced. So I did exactly what you're saying. I had a full-time job in an unrelated, non-creative field that was paying me really, really well, like a lot of money. And I was doing, like, I had a good salary. And then I was doing photography on the side. And I was saving up all my money, buying camera gear, buying lenses, and getting more and more higher-paying gigs. But the freelance gigs would never match my full-time salary. So what I did is that I eventually moved the jobs from my full-time job as a non-creative, non-photography, non-content creator job into a content creator job that replaced my salary. And now I maintained my income. And now I do stuff like this, do less freelance work, and I still get to play with all my cameras and create content all the time. What should I buy? Sony A7 Mark III or Mark IV? Mark IV for sure. Minimum Canon 24 to 105 millimeter, 70 to 200 full frame camera, 51.8. Yep. Are you streaming G through TikTok Studio or OBS? Every time I try capture card in TT Studio, everything crashes. You might be running into like hardware limitations, AJ Funk. I have a super, I don't know what your setup is. It might be beefy. But I used to have crashing problems too, and then I upgraded my PC. But what I'm doing is I have everything. I have all my cameras routed to OBS, and then from OBS, I'm sending a virtual camera to TikTok, and OBS is also streaming to YouTube, and then TikTok is streaming up as well. AJ Funk, happy to like debug some stuff there for you, bud, because literally these streams on YouTube and on TikTok, what I'm really trying to do is capture people that are like trying to create content, people that are actually doing this thing, you know, creating content and like trying to go live and to do freelance work and stuff like that. So happy to help you out, or at least talk it through what you got going on. There is a new 20 to 50. Ooh, that sounds nice, Matt. 20 to 50. I like the 20. That's why I like 24 and 28 are just a little too wide. 20 is like getting closer to like where I like to be. So Astra Sonans, hello, hello. Canon R8 or an R5? An R5 for sure. Hi, okay, so I went to buy a camera yesterday and left empty-handed. Damn, that sucks, bro. Thanks, I'll send a DM. You can send the chat right here, AJ Funk. Why I ask you to send it here, broski, is because, or you can go over to YouTube, and over there they have a lot more characters where you're not limited. But why I ask you to do that and not go to the DMs is because if you have questions, it's likely that other people might have similar questions. So I also don't check my my DMs as regularly. Like I'll leave them on red more often than not. Sony Fujifilm XA3 or XA5, dude? I don't know. XA? I don't know those cameras. Let's look at them. Let's look at them together. Fujifilm XA5. Oh, these are old cameras, dude. I don't know. I probably wouldn't recommend any of these. They look kind of cool, though. Ooh, $1,000. Damn, they're expensive. These look like 24 megapixels APS-C. Okay. They look kind of cool. I'd buy whichever one is the nicer option, the one that has more features. That's what I would do. They look really neat, though. Yeah, they look really neat. Which is best option for recording BTS as I shoot? BTS? What kind? What do you? I don't know what you're asking. What camera is best for BTS? Typically, for my BTS, I use action cameras. I love using action cameras like Insta360s for BTS stuff. Just because BTS stuff I use just like as like social media content. You know, I don't do anything crazy over there. YouTube comment. What impact will the advent of AI have on photography in the future? It will have zero impact on photography. I went looking for the R6 Mark III and they were confusing me and trying me to look at others. What? If they probably didn't have the R6 Mark III. Yeah. Best value for money camera body. Planning to switch to Nikon or better Canon body. Budget is $1K. Best value for money. I think the R50V is like a crazy good deal, you guys. The R50V is such a deal, man. And I know that I talk about it a lot, but it's because it is my most recommended camera. It's my most recommended camera for 2026, man. Look at this, dude. For $600, holy fuck, boys. Especially for you normies out there that are just brand new and don't know what the fuck's going on. This is great, dude. $600 in and out. I have two of these camera bodies, by the way. And last year in December, they were running a sale where they were like $580 or $570, and I almost bought a third one. Do you rate accounts? Sometimes I do, but I don't do them for free. Short version, running a Razer 2021 i9. Oh, you got a laptop. Only crashes. Yeah. Only crashes with capture card. TT Studio works. So how much stuff do you have plugged in the capture card? How is the capture card connected? Is it connected directly to your laptop, or is it connected via a USB dock directly? Okay. Um, can you? Why are you connecting OBS and not just going straight to TikTok? Are you trying to do multi-streaming, AJ? They said Nikon Z8, A7R5, and Canon R5 Mark II give me so much info that just made me nervous. Yeah, all of those cameras that they said, minus the R5 Mark II, are all on par with the R6 Mark III. They're all great cameras. Why they tried to talk you out of whatever was weird. I'd say that AI will have a massive impact on photography, especially for products, marketing, and stock images. Large parts of this it will not. It will absolutely not. The only people that are gonna see that here's the thing, guys, that what happens to you guys? Think of this. This is from YouTube, a YouTube comment. The Tempic. It's it happens to all of us. It's very, very common. What happens when you run into an AI video? When you see an AI video, right now it's the worst that it's ever going to get, but it's never going to get to the point where, it's my opinion, that it'll never get to the point where it's going to replace real people doing real work. Okay, so when you see an AI actor or somebody dubbing themselves in an AI, it's very telling, and you get like, it's almost like a heightened sense of awareness where like your brain realizes something isn't authentic here, something is wrong here. And when you see that, when you see an AI video like these, weird AI videos that you see on Facebook or Instagram all the time, your brain instantly recognizes it. Unless you're like 70 or 80 years old and like kind of not really paying attention, you're not easily convinced. So that's why I believe that AI in photography and creating products and creating product reels and all that kind of stuff, you instantly pick up on it, and then a company's going to lose that person's trust, and that credibility is going to go down the drain, right? So the only people that are really going to take advantage of it are less credible brands. So that's going to like really widen the gap for the companies that are actually investing in people actually doing real world. Yeah, but all of the AI videos, they're all garbage, bro. I'm telling you, it's not going to have an impact. It's going to be a tiny little wave, and it's already kind of going down, dude. Trust me. I do product photography for a living, and it's not going to impact you at all. The brands that are doing this, they're brands that are there are a couple kids coming out of high school that are just using this because they don't have the budget to actually hire photographers, creatives, creative agencies, hire videographers. They just don't have the budgets, and it's very telling. And because it's so flooded right now with all this garbage, I'm telling you that the wave is, it's not even a wave, it's like a little ripple going through this industry, that it'll be non-existent, man. I'm telling you. I literally make money as a product photographer, and I create content all the time. And I do use AI sometimes, but not for actual paid work. Canon R50 or Sony 6400? The 6400 shoots in log, so if you like video, the log on the 6400 is nice. I would say that the screen on the 6400 is kind of shitty though. AJ, just TikTok. I don't have 1K followers, so can't use a stream key yet. Works with OBS, but TT crashes. So why don't you send what's it called? Can you send a virtual cam over to TikTok, AJ? I would be sending, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sending a virtual camera from OBS to my TikTok, and then on TikTok I'm selecting OBS virtual camera. A7 III or A6000 series for. I would get the A7 III for sure. For sure. And also, speaking about AI, I have no negative issues or any negative problems with AI. I'm not afraid of it. I am embracing it, and I do use it as part of my workflow for like iterations and like idea generations and stuff like that. But I do use AI voices for some of my videos in my paid work. But any clients that are coming to me wanting to do AI stuff, they're not the right clients for me, and I still do pretty well, you know. Let's see. Is AJ still in here? I think AJ left, right? Oh no, AJ's still in here. Yeah, AJ, try that virtual camera, bro. Oh, here we go. I can, but when capture card is being used, it locks up the CPU. As soon as I open, I need to use it. I need to use it to stream my PS5. I think you're hitting hardware limitations, broski. Not gonna lie to you, man. What capture card do you have? I use a laptop for one of my. I don't know if you guys can see. No, you guys can't see, but I have another setup over here, guys. That's a laptop, and that's a streaming piece, a streaming laptop. I don't know if you guys can see that really well. No, you can't. And over there, I have a laptop with two screens, and I have a ZVE102 over here, and I use that to stream different kinds of content over there. And over there, when I use OBS, AJ, and I send it over to TikTok, I can feel my computer lagging. So, and that's a hardware limitation, right? Elgato 60. Yeah, the Elgato seems to be good. I think you're running into hardware limitations, bro. I think that's what it is. For those of you guys joining over on TikTok, welcome in. We're just hanging out talking about camera gear. I just went on a rant about AI and content creation for a little bit there, but feel free to jump into the conversation. If you're brand new here, welcome in. If you see any questions that you know the answers to or you feel you can contribute to, feel free to jump into the conversation as well. If you're brand new here and haven't followed yet, please consider doing so. Sir, is the ZV-1 and the FX3 almost same? No, not almost same. They have the same sensor, but they are very different cameras. Nine new followers over on TikTok. Today I had breakfast before going live. Yesterday I made the mistake of jumping on before breakfast, and I started to get lightheaded. So would a desktop setup be stronger versus a laptop? Hell yeah, dude. Desktops are always better, bro. They just have more hardware, man. It's frustrating because I can game stream from a laptop, but can't. Capture card kills me. You're running into your PCIe. What is your settings on your camera? Wait. You're using a capture card for your PS5 or for your camera? Remind me, AJ. Canon or Sony? Canon. Canon is number one. Guys, I don't make the rules, guys. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. You see this right here? According to Canon, Canon is number one. I don't make the rules, boys. That's it, man. That's it. Based on a Canon survey, you see this? Based on Canon, Canon is number one. You can't argue with that, boys. Thank you for helping Canon achieve number one share of interchangeable lens digital cameras in the global market for 23. They're not just number one this year, bro. 23 years in a row, according to Canon. It's settled. It's settled. PS5 is just a simple webcam. Cam is just a simple webcam. Okay, dang, because I was wondering, I don't need to spend money on the ZV-1 and the FX3. They're not almost the same. How big is the low light performance jump? It's a full frame sensor, Migs. It's a full frame sensor. So, okay, so you're using your capture card for the... Yeah. Yeah, my bet, bro, is that you're running into a hardware issue. Did you, AJ, did you try asking AI? So whenever I debugged my entire system, which took me a long time, I downloaded all of the PDF files, which is available on most like premium pieces of gear and tech. I downloaded all the PDF user manuals, like not just the quick start guide, but the PDF manual of everything. And I imported that into AI, ChatGPT in my case, or sometimes Claude, depending on what I'm doing. In this case, I use ChatGPT. And I used it, so I gave it all of the information of everything that I was using. And then I asked it to help me route all of this properly and make all the configurations correctly. And it took me a long time, but I eventually did get it. I just want to put the PS5 into TikTok Studio. GPT said it's a USB power thing. Did recommendation, still crashes. Yeah, it sounds, AJ, bro, it sounds like you have a hardware limitation, man. Yeah, it sounds like you have hardware limitations. Doing all of that off of a laptop is wild, bro. I have a pretty advanced gaming laptop, and I would never use it to stream like that. Even though it probably can. The laptop that I have is a Lenovo Legion. It has an i9 with a 4090 graphics card. And I would never use it to stream the way that I would stream like this. Like right now, my setup right now, guys, is like 3 actual interchangeable lens cameras, 1, 2, 3, plus like a bunch of webcams that I'm not using currently, and then 2 massive screens, and I'm multi-streaming at the exact same time. And I'm barely like, thanks for your time and info. Sure thing, man. Sure thing. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a hardware issue, man. Think about all the things you're asking your tech to do, man. It's a lot. You're asking it to do a lot. I stream on 4 at once. Yeah, for sure. Rave, what's your setup look like? Yeah, I only want to stream. I personally only stream to YouTube and TikTok. I've been solely on TikTok for a while, trying to build my skill on one platform. And just yesterday, I started dual streaming. Hello, Julia. Hello. Julia, check it out. I added a new angle. Well, it's a different setup. So now my camera looks better, kind of like how I like it. 5070 i7, 4 cameras. Nice, dude. It looks great. Did you fix it from yesterday? I had to add another camera. I added another camera. What are the cameras, Rave Trooper? PC config, Ryzen 5, 5070, 32 gigs, graphic card. 5060 GeForce, Mac Mini for laptop. Okay. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for sharing. For cams, I love Canon, love Sony, but shoot gigs on Blackmagic Cinema Pro. Love that. Yeah, Blackmagic cameras are really special, man. Yeah, Blackmagic are really special. I've never personally used one, but they're so like, they're really good at what they do. How much is a 6K Pocket? And when are they ever gonna update that camera? I think it's like super old now, right? Jesus. Let me close out some of my windows. I got a bunch of windows. Oh, also, this is the cam link that I'm using. 2 YOLO Live S3s, Insta360. Those are all webcams, bro. Is the YOLO Live that new webcam? Yeah, those are all webcams, bro. YOLO Live. There's a different YOLO Live S3. I think I remember those. They were looking kind of cool. Yeah, these are all webcams, bro. This webcam is actually pretty nice. I did look at this. This one is the latest one that has come out. It looked really big. Looked like really, really nice. When you're looking at webcam, guys, get the ones with the biggest sensors. But this does not compare to the bandwidth required on, for a what's it called? For DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras. Yeah, I have 2 Insta360s. I have an eMeet. eMeet's been sending me all their webcams lately as well. Really blessed. Yeah, really, really blessed. Yeah. I can't afford a 2K camera. I get it, bro. I get it. But, you know, when you said you use 4 cameras, I was like, that's pretty good if you're using like all these cameras and streaming to all those. My PC can handle 4 cameras, but I have a pretty beefy machine. And I use this. So on my Camlink Pro, I have 3 of these used up right now. One right here. This is for TikTok. And then I have another wide angle for YouTube. So that's camera 2. And then my third camera right here where I can show you guys like products of my desk. But these are all interchangeable lens cameras. So this one right here. If you guys are curious for whatever reason to see my camera on YouTube, feel free to jump over there. Yeah, and this is the one that I use. But this needs to be plugged into your PC directly. Ace Pro 2 can be used as a webcam. I think so. Yeah, I think so. If you're making money with a cam, it's an investment. It'll pay. Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do TT, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Facebook, damn. I thought about streaming to like Facebook and Instagram, but I don't like their UI and their I didn't like their UI and their algorithm. For me, TikTok and YouTube is gonna be it for me. And TikTok, I'm sorry, Twitch to me doesn't seem like a place I'd like to be, or the other one. What's the green one? Rave Trooper, what kind of content do you do? Is it gaming stuff or just Star Wars stuff? Star Wars stuff looks pretty cool. Bro, you can definitely afford 2K cameras, bro. The YOLO cams are sick though. The YOLO cams are sick. I was looking at the YOLO Live brand did come out with an interchangeable lens webcam too that looked really cool. All right, AJ. Good luck, man. Thanks for stopping in. IBS and talk. I do SW also. What's SW? Yeah, it looks like you're just hanging out with your Rave Trooper, bro. It looks pretty cool. That shot was a little weird right there, like it started on your crotch. Star Wars stuff is cool, man. Yeah. Star Wars, yeah. It's like 800 for the body. Yeah, I saw that one. That one looked really cool. Block Society Media, welcome back, buddy. Seeing you was live and appreciate the information, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I saw $800. I didn't see what E-mount was, though. That's the handy cam. Ladies love it. I'm surprised you don't have any TOS violations. I love my A7 IV, but the 1.45 crop hurts me at 60K. Yeah, get the A7 IV doesn't have a uncropped 4K 60. No way. I don't believe that. Really? You might be right. Actually, I never actually looked at that. And a lot of people go crazy for the A7 IV. Let's take a look at that. The A7 IV is this one right here. Yeah, and with active stabilization, yeah. Damn. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about, guys. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about where like Sony fanboys are like, "Oh, Sony's better," but like on their top tier hybrid camera for $2,200, they're not even giving you 4K 60 uncropped. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Yeah, it says it right here. It says it right here. My Canon R8 shoots in 4K 60 no crop. And that's a $1,200 camera. I'm telling you, people that say that Sony's better, man, people are blind, bro. I bet you though that the 1080 60 looks just great though. I bet you that it does. 4K 60, like, to me is always like, you guys are asking for too much. What do you think of having a comment from YouTube? Thank you, YouTube commenters. 2 viewers over there. Okay, I see you guys. What do you think of having 2 cameras and one don't have log and the other have log? Any profile recommendations? I would shoot. I mean, unless are you really grading your footage all of the time? I know a lot of people like to, you know, color their footage and like add that kind of stuff, but I like the standard profile a lot of times. Unless I'm getting paid to do like a super creative shoot, I'm rarely in log footage. But if you have one that has it, another one that has it, I would shoot both of them in standard profile. Hopefully they're the same. Excuse me. Hopefully they're the same brand. And they should match pretty well. But in the future, what I would do is look to buy a second camera to replace my B cam with that is the same brand and also has the same log. Yeah, and with active stabilization, I got a Nikon Z6 as my first camera. Good choice for beginner. Yeah, man. Yeah, that hurts. That's why I'm thinking of upgrading the FX3. Yeah, and that's why they're always going to keep a 4K 60. Does the A7 IV have it? Sony A7 V. They'll always have a crop factor on it because there'll be another camera in the lineup that does have it. I think that the A7 V does have 4K 60 no crop. Yeah, look, 4K 60 10-bit video here. It has it here. It would say with a crop if it did. So there you go. There you go. They did just add a, how do I add this? I've been trying to figure this out for a little while. How do they make it so that I can add this? A7 III right here. And then let's do the A7. Yeah, these are all 3 generations of cameras right here. Yeah, but 120 FPS is cropped on the A7 V. Fuck you, Sony, dude. God damn it, man. 4K 120 is wild, though, man. My Canon R8 can shoot, I think, in 180 no crop, dude. I'm pretty sure. So right now, check this out, guys. Let me pop you guys over. We'll figure this out together, guys. So if I go to, I'm in video mode here. "4K 60, no crop." This is an R8, by the way. Canon R8. 4K 60, no crop. And the way that you can tell is I'm using a 45 millimeter. We'll find out together. I'm pretty sure. So 4K 60, let's go to 4K 30. And keep in mind we'll put this at the edge of the frame right here. You guys can watch the keys of the keyboard. And then let's go over to 4K 30. It's the exact same, right? Yeah, exact same. So it didn't change at all. And now I can go over to high frame rate, enable this, and now I get 1080, 180, no crop. So this does 1080, 180 with no crop. Bought the A7S3 S2 over the ZVE10, and I'm planning on getting LiDAR to compensate for his. I don't know, bro. I think you might as well just get a better camera. LiDAR. That sounds like you're adding such a complicated solution to such a simple fix. I've never used LiDAR. Sounds like it's a whole nother system to get used to. You know what I mean? Yeah, but 120 FPS is cropped. Yep, buy the ZVE10. No more crop everything. The ZVE10 2, I think, just got 4K 60. I don't think they got 120. Maybe 120 and 1080. Is aspect ratio set to full on full frame camera? What do you mean? What do you mean, sir? I don't think so. I think it did 4K 60 no crop. You might be right, PTS. I haven't even updated my ZVE10 2. Let's look it up. ZVE10 2 firmware update. Yeah, I need to do this actually. So this is the ZVE10 Mark II system software update version 1.02. I need to do this. Note on account. Before downloading software, we recommend you create a Sony account, of course. Creators app, App Store, okay. Follow the instructions, notes. Okay, I want to know what the updates actually do. ZVE10, all cameras overheat. Comment from YouTube from Pastor Brian. What's up, Pastor Brian? Definitely the R50V for sure. Use fully charged. Do not remove the battery. It may. Step 1. I want to know what it does. Oh, here we go. No, previous benefits. Fixes an issue where the battery level warning battery exhaust image will still appear. Fixes an issue where the camera may fail to power on, power off. It improves the operational stability of the camera. Is this it? 1.02. I know that they added a firmware update that did ZVE that added 4K 60 uncropped. Creators app. Oh, maybe it's this one? Here we go. But this is for the ZVE 10 Mark 1, not the Mark 2. Which prime lens? Comment from YouTube. Which prime lens do you recommend for the Sony R50V? My studio is 3 meters. I like the 16 and the 23 millimeter. A lot. If you're on YouTube, this right now that you're looking at is a 12 millimeter, which is like super duper wide. If you guys are interested to see what a 12 millimeter wide looks like on one of these cameras, you guys can switch over to YouTube. On TikTok vertically, I'm using a 23 millimeter. Opinion on Meta glasses. Thinking on buying a pair for my birthday. Meta glasses are sick, dude. I personally am gonna get a pair, but I'm gonna wait another generation or two. At least another generation, but probably 2. How often do you go live? I've been looking for people to go live and have this conversation. I go live all the time. Shots by J Real St. Louis creator. I'm new and want to be around other. Yeah, give me a follow, bro. I go live all the time. Okay, they're looking good right now, price wise. Thanks. Yeah, I really like them as well, Noah. But for me, I know that these improvements in the video is going to like exponentially get better. The first glasses were whatever. The second gen, they got better. I think by the third and the fourth. And also, I'm interested to see what competitors do. Like when Samsung comes out with their version or another brand comes out. Because Oakley came out with their versions of the Ray-Bans, like an iteration of it. Or not an iteration. A competitor to it from Oakley. And those got better as well. So I'm waiting for at least one more brand and one generation to pass us by. Because pretty soon, they're going to get really, really good. And right now, they're great. Don't get me wrong. But I personally... And here's the thing. Here's why I say this. It's happening faster than you think. So it's not taking like 2 to 3 years for these glasses to get better. It's like 6 to 9 months. Within a year, they have another, like, here are the Mark IIIs. You know, they're like getting better and better. So... so between the Action 6, Kevin over in TikTok. All right, bro, I have a question about which camera I should get. All right, Kevin, what you got, bro? Thank you for the follow. So it's between the Action 6 Ace Pro 2 to the Pocket 3, mainly for TikTok vids about tech. Those are... So the Ace 6 and the Action 6 and the Ace Pro 2 are very similar. I would go with the Action 6 on that one because it has a larger sensor. The Pocket 3 is very different, man. The Pocket 3 is very different than those other two. I would do the Pocket 3 for like YouTube content and like content creation personally, just because of the gimbal. It's very, very unique, man. It's very, very good. To YouTube, what aspect ratio on crop sensor vertical? What are you talking about, Charles? To YouTube, what aspect ratio? Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing what image I got over on YouTube, feel free to jump over real quick and then come back to TikTok or stay over there. I don't give a shit. It's a different viewing angle, right? So you get to see different kind of things. Let me go over to YouTube. Ever thought about having like a Discord or something to where you can show some progress on suggestions you've gave because some of us actually out working and would love to show suggestions. I have thought about having a Discord. I'm slowly building this Block Society Media, slowly building it. And right now, adding a Discord and adding like a school or adding this and adding that is just another platform to manage. And because I am slowly like learning these things, I'm trying to get better and better every day. I'm really trying to limit the, because I still have a full-time job as a content creator, so I still have a lot of things to focus on. But yes, to answer your question directly, I have thought about it. I just am not there yet. Suggestions, they're beneficial. Yeah, for sure. Pastor Brian says, in Zimbabwe, where I live, my studio is like 30 degrees Celsius. Most of the time, can I record at least an hour with the R50V without overheating? I don't know. What's 30 degrees Celsius, guys? Is 30 degrees Celsius like crazy? Cameras are gonna overheat that don't have fans, dude. 86, holy fuck. 86 degrees, bro. Right now, I'm sitting at 78 degrees in my room, and my cameras, I don't think they're anywhere near overheating. Yesterday, one was, but it was because, yeah, no overheat sensor. No overheat at all. But I did buy this little fan. Actually, I didn't buy this. Somebody sent me this. Ulanzi sent me this. Can you guys see this? It's a little mini fan that you put on the back of your camera. And after using it for like 10-15 minutes, my camera did decrease. The only reason it was overheating, though, is because my setup in this direction is right next to a window, and I had my blinds all the way up, and sun was like hitting my cameras directly. So cameras without fans are going to overheat regardless of what camera it is. 43 Al, maybe not camera related, but what do you think about the S26 Ultra, the stabilization, but about the privacy screen? I think people that are looking at the privacy screen as like a great feature, I think those people are having affairs on the new S26 Ultra. I do like the new cameras, though. The new cameras look really great. Back to TikTok. Let's go over here. Yeah, preferably the Ray-Ban style is sleek. Yeah, I did like the Ray-Bans are definitely cool looking for sure. I did like the Oakleys. The Oakleys did have a better camera, but I didn't like the frames. And this is coming from somebody that uses glasses all the time. And the Ray-Bans are pretty similar to this frame style, like thick plastic. So I did like the Ray-Bans over the Oakleys as well. Ray G, but still, I have the first one, and those glasses record so good quality and everything. Yeah, I mean, everybody's standards are different. For my standards, I need them to be a little bit better. Gen 2 Wayfarers, yep. Insta360 can kick rocks with their awful customer care. JFK, what up, broski? Welcome in. JFK, I'm dual streaming. I don't think you've been here since I've been dual streaming, broski. I'm over on YouTube now. Look at me, man. I'm like a real boy now. How long do you think the industry will last? The industry will last forever. Canon R50V or Sony 6400 for makeup, beauty content, both video and photos. Ooh. I think I like the 6400. No, dude, I like the R50V. I think the R50V is it's $600, dude. But if you want cheaper lenses and more lens options, you got to go with the Sony. That's if Discord still exists in 6 months. They've been taking L's. That is true. I did forget that Discord was taking a lot of L's recently. But I can still have like a Facebook community but for real, I kind of want to move everything over to on YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to be doing like courses and stuff that are like rewatchable. And I'm going to be doing stuff like that that's going to be free. And I'm going to be moving over. YouTube is the platform that I really, really want to focus on like long term. TikTok is still going to be part of my whole like content plan and like my content vertical. Because TikTok has been great to me, except for all the fucking violations that they give me from time to time for no reason. But TikTok has been really instrumental in me learning how to actually stream. So I'm very thankful to TikTok for that. And you guys being here too as well. I need a good budget camera for streaming advice. R50V. R50V, you guys. That's this camera right here. This camera right here, boys. Canon R50V. I need to fix my AF on this camera. That's what I need to do. R50V. Fucking sick camera, dude. This camera without the lens, body only, 600 bucks, 620. You can't beat it, guys. You can't beat it. Do I have it here already? I've been looking at so many cameras today, guys. Yeah, I don't have it here. If you guys are curious, this is the lens that I'm using on my TikTok live right here. Contemporary 23 millimeter. They make it in L mount, X mount, E mount, and RF mount. Thank you. I'm learning. One last thing. Which lights do you recommend for a studio setup? I prefer recording at night when the kids are asleep. I like the Zhiyun lights, Pastor Brian. Also, Pastor Brian, if you're on YouTube, you can check out my link down below. And I have all of the gear that I use. Actually, I need to make some additions to it. Thanks for reminding me. I have all of the gear that I use listed here. What I was looking at is I want to make more lists like this one right here where it says Sony ZV-E10 camera rig. So this is what I use to build out a full camera rig. I own all of these products, paid my own money for them, to build out an entire Sony rig. This price is crazy, dude. $1,000. This is expensive. Do I think it's worth it? When the R50V is only 600 bucks, dude. When the R50V is only 600 bucks, it's kind of tough to say that it's worth it. Yeah, when this camera is practically 90% of what the Sony is, it's really tough to recommend it, man. Really, really tough to recommend it. Holy shit, a lot of comments over on TikTok. Hola, Vic. Still debating between the Lumix S9 or the Fuji. I would go with the Fuji, bro. Hello, my brother. What are your comments about the S17 Samsung? I have no idea. S17 Samsung. I don't think I have any comments. He finally became a real boy. Exactly. Yay. Do you recommend me the Canon R100? I recommend the Canon R100 to nobody. Nobody. I'm a massive fan of my R5 Mark II. R5 Mark II is sick, bro. So YouTube is the wife and TikTok is the mystery. I like to have fun with TikTok, you know. YouTube pays the bills, though. Yeah, YouTube pays the bills. That's a sick and twisted analogy, JFK. How dare you, sir? What are your thoughts on... Oh, Rush Live deleted their message. 4 viewers on YouTube, yo. Repeat after me. Canon R Poop 100. Fujifilm X-T3. I like the X-T3, actually. I was looking at it yesterday, I think. I think there's an X-T5 as well, right? Yeah, these are really cool little cameras, dude. Let me delete some of these fucking tabs. I have 96 gigs of RAM on my PC. I know that it can handle it. Oh shit, I didn't want to delete that one. That's okay. Yeah, I like these little cameras right here, man. These Fujifilms are so pretty, man. They're really like tactile and shit, you know? So I like the X-T3. I do like it. Fujifilm for just photography, man, you can't beat it, dude. Hey, look, 4K 60, bro. Wow, does this... Oh, Ultra HD. Oh, no, no. 4K 60, yeah. 4K 60. I don't know if it'll have... It doesn't say if it has a crop, though. What camera do you recommend for sports photography? Any of them. Do you recommend a Canon R100 for sport? Well, I do not recommend the Canon R100 for anything. Get an R50 if you want to get a cheap Canon. How do you make revenue on YouTube? I'm monetized on YouTube, and also I have affiliate links. It's not a lot of money. It's not like life-changing money. It's a couple $100s a month. I will say I do think the R5 is slightly overpriced. The R5 Mark I is still a little expensive, for sure. What gear should I use to rock surveillance on my cheating wife? My girlfriend wants to know. Probably some security cameras at least. Which editing software do you recommend for beginners to edit Canon R50V videos? Premiere Pro or CapCut maybe? Probably CapCut, Pastor Brian. XT3 has a crop factor. I couldn't tell from this. I figured that it did because they always do. I wasn't expecting 4K 60 on a $900 camera. R6 Mark II, thumbs up. Yeah. Sir, don't tempt me the tab god on Chrome where there will live, there's a way. Would I buy a Sony a7 IV for sports and video? I don't know. Would you? I would. R6 Mark II, thumbs up. What are your views on the R7? Love the R7. R7 Mark II is around the corner, or they may do something. A new R7 is coming out, though. I have the Mark II and paid just under 4K. Worth it, bro. Yeah, totally worth it. Totally worth it. I do like this Fujifilm, though, man. And also, on Fujifilms, man, does it have 2 SD cards? It does have 2 SD cards. Look at this, you guys. Fujifilms, I've said this many a times, I really don't look at Fujifilms like video cameras. I look at them as just photo cameras. Can they take video? Yeah, of course, but that's not why I'm buying a Fujifilm. I'm buying a Fujifilm to take. I'm buying a Fujifilm so I can go on a day trip to Japan and go to Mount Fuji and take pictures of cherry blossoms, you know? That's why I'm buying a Fuji. First vlog camera is okay. Osmo Pocket 3. Fuck yeah, Blur Animations. That camera's nice, dude. It's 100% made my money back. Money back and then some. Can't complain too much. Oh yeah, the R5 too. I tell people, Donovan, if I could only have one of my cameras and one of my lenses, it would be the R5 Mark II and my 28-70. Like, why is the Sony a7C-R so expensive? The a7C-R is so expensive because it has 60 megapixels. I assume those are probably CFast SD card slots. Probably. No, these ones for the Fujifilm? I don't know. They look like, no, they're regular SD cards. You see the shape? The shape for the CFast are square. They're like not cut off in the corner. Whoa. Yeah, Fuji colors are crazy good. They're really unique, man. They're really unique. Megapixels. Yeah, megapixels. Still have my RP since 2020. Man, with the Sigma 35, 1.4, even at 1080. Oh, dude. You know, people, it's my opinion, you know, my R50V doesn't do 4K 60 uncropped, but it does do 1080 60. And that 1080 60 footage, man, truthfully, when I see a difference in 4K to 1080, the only time I really notice it is when I'm in post, when I'm editing. Because oftentimes in my videos, I do like to punch in a little bit. And at 1080p 60, the picture starts to break down. The resolution really starts to go. But what I do to kind of avoid that is that I plan ahead, or I'm thinking of when I'm shooting in 1080 60, I plan for that shot to be not cropped in post, right? So I create the content with a little bit more intentionality. I made a film. This is from YouTube, guys. I made a film on XT3. Now it's in Kane's India Film Festival on the camera. It's very good at photography, but in video, if you use it with manual focus, the video quality is also good. Oh, great, bro. Yeah. Personally, Rush Live, I just don't look at Fuji films and think video, except for like the Eternas or like those crazy ones, you know? That's great though. Blur Animations, thank you for sharing the live. I'm looking into getting a Panasonic Lumix S5 platform secondhand market, dropped a ton. Sick. I don't know much about the S5 1. I do know a little bit about the S5 2, and it's pretty great. Sony A1 is what, 7K, JFK? Donovan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's look at the price of the A1. You guys want to do some window shopping today? What do you guys think? I think it's 7K, if I remember correctly. Oh, they have a new... yep, here it is. Here it is, boys. A cool 7,000, boys and girls. 5 viewers on YouTube. Look at us go. Look at us go. 7K, dude. An A1-1 is about 5K. An A1-2 is 7K, bro. Holy. But look at this, man. 50 megapixels, 8K 30, 4K 120, 10-bit. It has everything, dude. This is the camera that's like at the NFL. At Wimbledon, at FIFA, at the Olympics. This is another level of cameras, though. Like when you're in this realm of cameras, dude, you don't need my advice, you know. Worth it for a flagship? Exactly. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's totally worth it, dude. Yeah, when you have a camera like this, dude, this is your job. You know what I mean? This is what you fucking do. What's your view? Oh, Netflix approved cameras. The C50, guys. The C50 was recently approved for Netflix. So now I can finally make my documentary that I've been thinking about for the past 10 years. What's your view on Netflix approved cameras versus the others? Some may go towards more expensive because of where they want to be. I mean, being able to create content for Netflix is like, I have no idea what that takes, right? I've never done it. I've never met anybody that's ever done it. I was part of a community, a paid community. Actually, I'm still part of it, that sells documentaries. And there was a lot of information in that community, but what it takes to create a documentary, a full length, full feature documentary, it takes a long time. I have nothing to document though. You know, I don't have any cool stories to tell. I wonder if my cats are interesting enough. What do you think of the Sony A7 IV? I like the A7 V. What about the A7 III? Thumbs up, A7 III. They do indeed use the A1, A9 Mark II at the Super. Yeah, hell yeah. Those are the cameras that are used in those situations, man. When you have a camera like that, you're having caviar as snacks. Should I get a 6500? If you can afford it, yeah. The Django, yeah, if you're in the market for an R7, I would wait until the new one is released. I don't know if because they could go two routes with the R7. They could go more video, or they could make some improvements to it for like wildlife. So, for those of you guys that are just joining on TikTok, welcome in. My name is Vic. We're just hanging out talking about cameras and looking at camera specs, and we were doing some window shopping just recently on the A7, the A1 Mark II, $7,000. Feel free to jump into the conversation down in the chat. We're just talking shit. Let us know if you're a Nikon user also. You need to identify yourself. Best mirrorless camera under 600 USD. I don't know. 600 USD is kind of... I don't think anything is best under 600 USD. I don't think under 600 USD and the word best go together. They're just good. What is a good camera for 600 USD is a better question. I saw the A7R IV for the same price as the A7 III. Which one should I buy? I want to buy a hybrid camera. I don't know. I'd probably get the... Are you sure, dude? The A7R IV was the same price as the A7 III. That sounds like a scam, Tech Guru. That doesn't sound accurate. Does that sound accurate, fellas? What's your favorite lens with this for sports? 100 to 500 or 70 to 200 minimum? If I can buy an A7 II 26K shutter but broken hot shoe, is it worth it? I wouldn't buy anything that's broken. Django, thank you for the follow. Let me go down to the bottom. I wonder, JFK, I wonder how much does a kidney sell for these days? Kidney's about 10K. On the black market, about 10K. Easy. I see now things are kind of changing to where docs and short film makers are doubling down on YouTube as their platform. Yeah, dude, people are putting like full length. I saw the other day a 6-hour course on YouTube for free. 6 hours, dude. So YouTube is crazy, man. And the popularity of YouTube and people moving over to YouTube to create their stuff is really impressive. And people can really make the shit out of their feature films on YouTube and just publish it for free. Is crazy, man. YouTube is powerful, man. That's why I'm really like gonna be focusing more on YouTube and making long form content and stuff, and also going live more on YouTube. A7R5 is 1800 still? Really? Interesting. What am I thinking about? Is the A7R5 out? There's no way it's 1800. Is it really? I find that hard to believe for some reason. A7R4? Oh, yeah. Look at this. I don't know. Used. What are they at? Are they on the A7R5 yet? Look at this. $1,800. 61 megapixels. Holy fuck, boys. 9 condition, moderate wear. Condition, 9 minor surface marks. Shutter count. Shutter count. Some YouTubers are creating content that rivals cinema. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly right. I found the A7R5 for €750. Damn. I don't know, man. 750. What's €750? Where are you, like on Facebook Marketplace? Are you like on a private sale? That's a lot of pixels. Hell yeah, dude. 61 megapixels? Fucking right. Yo, bro, you know any tips for smoother movement on B-roll orbits? A gimbal? Definitely a gimbal. The Ninja Walk. How good is your Ninja Walk? Shots by MW. Are you guys familiar with the Ninja Walk? Let's see if we can find something. Ninja Walk for video.
So, you just got your first DJI gimbal. Congrats.
Let me see if I can find it here. Ninja Walk. Let's see. Here we go.
Want to be here, that's hard to control, but a nice obtuse angle on the knees. On the feet is heel to toe, right? We don't want to slam our legs down like this, and we're going to have our arms nice and bent here. We don't want it to be like super muscling this thing, because that's going to add to vibrations. We want it to be kind of loosey-goosey flowing. If we wanted to go backwards, toe to heel on the way back, right? But make sure you have a spot.
Do you look stupid as hell doing it? Yes, I've looked way stupid as hell doing the ninja walk in public. Ninja walk doesn't help me, sadly. Jeez, I think you need Jesus at that point, bro. Becky, I'm starting university in photography tomorrow, and I'm getting a new Canon R50 in 2 weeks. I'm excited. Sick, dude. Great choice on the R50. You did good, Becky. Good for you. I have a gimbal, and I also have a slider, like an electronic slider that I use for like that kind of content creation. Just because I feel your pain, but I do use gimbals, and I also use electronic sliders. Also, I do this kind of movement where I'm kind of like tucked in, and I like extend, but I don't like go past like 20-30 degrees, right? And I try to stay totally fixed. So I maintain a base, nice wide base, and I just slowly move my camera off to the side. But I'm also not like orbiting and like moving my feet around, because I know the struggle. I know the struggle, broski. Best budget Sony camera for sports. Probably the 6400. Yeah, probably the 6400. 750 pounds, too good to be true. Yeah, I also don't recommend shots by MW. I never recommend people buying things privately through private sales, only because I don't want you guys to get robbed or shanked or scammed. It's just not worth it for me. It's not worth it for me to recommend something and then you get like murdered. You know what I mean? That's not a good look. That's not a good way to build a trusting community. Yeah, elbows tucked has been my go-to right now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But if you want more of like a full, like if you look at a circle, 360, if you're looking for more than 15, 20 degrees of movement, an electronic slider is the only way. What's the one that I have? Mine is called the Zeopon. Here's the one that I have, guys. Zeopon slider. Yeah, this is what I own. Zeopon slider. What was it called? The micro. I think it was this one, but mine was the bigger one. Here it is. Yeah, this is the exact one that I have. Mine came with everything though. This. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, mine was this one. This is what I have. I have it in my living room. And whenever I need to create, so this gives me tilt, roll, pan, and slide. So what is that? 4 axes? Yeah. And I use this for all my product photos whenever I'm creating content. I even used it for an interview one time of, well, it was a long talking head of myself. So this is what I use for these kind of shots. And like if you're a food creator, a content creator where you're like doing content for like physical goods, like a restaurant and stuff like that, and you need that constant movement, you need to repeat that movement all the time. Getting one of these for $1,200, and they probably have cheaper ones and like better options by now, because I bought mine 3-4 years ago for about this price, so it's held its price. I think that's how much I paid for it. I use it all the time, and the repeatability of it is so great. So no hand R movement, all out of torso. Yeah, same with that. Yeah. Want to buy an A7S III for action vlog style content because I want to film in 4K 60. Is it worth it? Yes. If you need 4K 60, dude, it's worth it. To be honest, I always recommend used gear. My entire setup is used, never been scammed yet. Yeah, but you have a different platform than I do, shot by MW. I only recommend used gear. I recommend used gear all the time, but only from reputable resellers. Like resellers that have customer service, a return policy, guarantees, and warranties. So I recommend used gear all of the time, but only from reputable resellers. Barely do I recommend stuff from eBay. And you haven't been scammed or stabbed yet. You know, it only matters until you are. You know what I mean? I have around 300. What camera should I buy? I think you should probably stick with your cell phone, Pan. My cousin was doing journaling interviews years back. All right, bet. Thanks. It's a very individual text. I take very heavy precautions for my private selves. Yeah, exactly. But the general public may not take may take those precautions. Also, I am observing that a lot of the people that ask me for like gear recommendations, even though I have my settings set to like 18 above, even some people that are in their 20s like are still a little naive and think that, you know, there's only good people out in the world, and unfortunately that's just not true, man. And also you don't have the experience of knowing, hey, this seems kind of weird. You know what I mean? MPB is good. Yeah, MPB, exactly. MPB, KEH, Adorama. Also, some of those websites aren't available globally. So those are issues as well, you know? The temperature of my R50 is rising, and my temperature of my R10 hasn't even hit an indicator just yet. Interesting. This one does, the temperature dial does go, but it never reaches anywhere near like, hey, I'm going to turn off or anything. But I should probably kick on my AC, or at least open a window. We'll do AC. It's a shutter count of 75,000 with the Sony. Tech Guru, check out what the life of the shutter is. If the shutter life of that camera is 1 million, then it has plenty of life. But if the life is only like 250,000, then you're like a third of the way there, right? Also, about that slider, I'm flat broke right now. You got to get busy. Shot by MW. You got to get busy, broski. If you're broke, that's on you, man. That's on you. You need to get the skills to pay the bills. There was a cheaper slider. Who made iFootage, I think. Because I know I bought mine a long time ago. Mine is a professional grade slider, like a lot of repeatability. Oh no, they're still expensive. Damn. This one is a little bit cheaper. This one doesn't do anywhere near what mine can do, but you know. $75K is quite a lot. Check for exterior sensor damage because that's been through a lot. 75 is a lot, right? Yeah, I was thinking 75 was a lot as well. Hey, I have a question regarding electronic versus mechanical shutter on cameras. Shoot. We'll see what we can answer, guys. One viewer on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? How you doing over there? Focal Pointe Photo. What kind of photos, videos do you shoot? I shoot anything that pays the bills. Anything that pays the bills. But the stuff that I get hired for usually is content creation for small brands, consumer goods, mom and pop restaurants, cafes, stuff like that. But I'm a full-time content creator for a firm, and I record their interviews and I create all their content for their social media. For photos, like when I'm just fucking around and doing street photography, I take photos of all kinds of shit. If you go for Canon, go with the R50. Does electronic shutter actually add camera accusations like a mechanical accusations? Actuations, I think is what you're trying to say. Actuations. I don't think so. It's not the same because there's not like mechanical movement going on. You know what I mean? There's not like parts and pieces moving. It's more like it's like, well, it actually goes down like this. It reads it like this, like line by line, like. So there's no moving parts in the shutter. Yeah, yeah. Which is why mirrorless cameras don't really have like a shutter count. They kind of do, but I don't know how to find the answer to the shutter count on cameras. You either have to sell it to like an authorized reseller to get the real number of your camera. They used to put that number in your metadata, but they don't anymore. 3 viewers on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. What's going on over there? We're just checking out camera gear, answering your guys' questions. Feel free to jump into the chat. It's quiet over on YouTube, guys. What's wild to me is that as I'm looking at this, 86 people have popped in. And on TikTok, 1,000, almost 1,200 people have popped in on TikTok, which is just crazy seeing the disparity. All good, though. All good. Still learning. Here we go. Patrick Thien. What up, Patrick? Thanks for stopping in, buddy. What do you think about the camcorder in 2025? Because we have other choices. Camcorders are still cool. You know, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on them. I think they're good for like dads with little kids. You know, like making home movies and stuff. They're super easy to use, point and shoot, recording your kids' recitals and stuff like that. I personally wouldn't use it for anything in my workflow unless I'm getting like a... Actually, you know what? I need to ask my parents, my dad and my mom, if they have their camcorders from when we were kids. Because if they do, I think they sell converter kits that you can make like... You can modernize them a little bit, the connections, so that you can use them for like... Because the whole vintage look is coming back, you know? So that's my thinking, Patrick Thien. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on them, maybe 800, 1,000 on a nice one, but that's about it. I wouldn't get anything crazy. I was able to check the shutter count on my 67 and 64. How'd you do that, MW? I tried to do it on my Canons and I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, my Canons weren't compatible. We're not compatible with any shutter count websites. I never tried it on Sony, so you might be right. I'm shooting documentary series for my channel. What camera and lenses do you recommend I get? What kind of documentary is it? And what lenses do you currently have? Yeah, I've seen that, and it didn't work. Canon wasn't supported on anything that I had. The only way that I could get an accurate shutter count reading on my Canon was if I sent it into Canon. Yeah, and I'm also curious to see how accurate that was. How accurate that would be. Who knows? I've never resold any of my cameras. I've only ever traded them in. I traded an R6 Mark I and an R6 Mark II for my C50. This bad boy right here. Ooh. I get to use this tomorrow because my my full-time job is asking me to do some recordings at the courthouse. What's that thing on the top? It's a handle. One thing is that video does not add to the count. You can film for years and still say 500. That's another thing. Yeah, sure. Like the buttons in specific, what are the functions, and did the handle come with the camera? Yeah, the C50. Are you guys not familiar with the Canon C50? The Canon C50. This one has like record, a zoomed talk. What is it? Zoom rocker. I'll pull it up here for you guys. Oops, C50. Here she is, man. Here she is in all her glory. It's an XLR handle, so you can add full XLR mics onto it. It's a pretty insane cinema camera, man. Pretty insane cinema camera. This camera is my dream camera, and it's Netflix approved. Now I can do my documentary and send it to Netflix. I do a documentary series about everyday African life. I use an iPhone 14 Pro Max and a Sony ZV-E 10. Okay. And you want a lens? Get something wide. Get something like a 12 millimeter or a 16 millimeter. That's probably what I would do. Or if you want to zoom, a 10 to 18 would be really nice. On the ZV-E 10 too. Yeah, that's what I would get. I would get this lens. Sigma. Oops, Sigma. Sigma 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter to 18. Here it is. I'd get this lens right here. It's available for Fujifilm, L, E-mount, and Canon RF. I own it for the RF. Actually, that's this lens right here. Super wide, 10 millimeters. And then super punched in. A7V or R5 Mark II? R5 Mark II. Anonimo for sure. Yo, what's your opinion on the Shackler tripods? One of the videographers had one on shoot. Those are like crazy expensive, right? I've seen a couple of those, bro. If you need that expensive of a tripod, you need that tripod. Because likely you have shit that just can't shit that can't fail. You know, I've seen people use Sacklers on like expeditions into like the frozen tundra and shit, and like they're made for like that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. A7S3 on it. Well, chances are that guy probably, you know, I don't know that guy, but he probably has had it for like a decade and has probably used it on like bigger rigs and stuff. But yeah, when you need that expensive kind of gear, there's a reason for it. Because there's a difference between consumer products, like what we like. All of these cameras that I'm talking about here, even though they are professional, they're like prosumer, meaning that they are still accessible to consumers. When you get into like professional production quality gear, the price from consumer to professional gear, literally that gap is like triple, quadruple the price. Even the simplest thing is like $1,000. You know what I mean? Canon RF 10 to 18 millimeter lens, pretty good quality. It's great quality for the cost, dude. It's actually a little expensive, more expensive than people realize, but the 10 to 18 is super nice. Really, really nice. Yesterday you said the 17 to 40 Sigma good for the Canon. I did say that. Yeah, it's very, very good. Another comment from YouTube. What up, YouTube? How many people? 2 people. All right. Canon R50V with the Sigma 60mm. Which tripod would you recommend? I do sermons while standing. I like the tripods that I like, guys, are small rig. Do I have my thing on here? Let's find out. Small rig and K&F Concept, you guys. I think I have all of this shit listed. My YouTube video setup, my workstation. Yeah, KNF concept and small rig tripods. I bought 2 of these, look. For tripods, typically I like to spend between $80, $70, $80 all the way up to $150 for my tripods. I have bought more expensive ones, but they're for like my heavier rigs and stuff. What's your opinion on Viltrox lenses? Currently rocking the my opinion on that, they're cheap Chinese lenses, but they work. Thoughts about the R6 Mark III? I'm on the R6 and want to upgrade. That's a solid upgrade, Zohab. A64 or A74? A74, dude. Yeah, KNF concept, they're like decent quality. But it is out of the budget. Do you recommend it for others? Recommend what for others? The memory cards that I get are Lexar memory cards. Do I have those here as well? I think I had them here. Lexar Pro memory cards. You guys can find all of this stuff in my links as well. Do I have them here? Camera bags and accessories. No, these are all straps. These are things that I need to add. So I need to add memory cards to my link in bio. Update Amazon. I set this up like a few years ago and I never maintained it, so there's a lot of changes that have happened. So I'll definitely be looking at that. Yeah, Lexar Pro cards, V60s is what I use. My YouTube setup, I think I looked at this one. Mics and audio. Nope. Media storage. Here they go. Yeah, these are the cards that I get. Jesus Christ, you guys. They really went up in price. Holy fuck, boys. You guys are shit out of luck, dude. $400, $340. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, these are V90s. That's why. That's why. The V90s. V90s are definitely going to be more expensive. I would get at least the V60s. Are these it right here? These are V60s. Lens for the Canon R50V. Yeah, the 17-40 is great. You can check out over on Patrick Thien. You can check out the Sigma. I think I have it over here actually. The 18-50. I think I added it here recently. This one. Sigma 18-50. It's not as good. Here, I bought this back in July. Oh no, I bought this 2024. Jesus, wow. 18-50 millimeter. This one's really nice. It is cheaper. It's an f2.8. It's not an f1.8, but if you want something cheaper, that's what you got. EOS R50 needs an adapter to use third-party flash. It does it? Does the R50? Or the R50V? I think you're right. But the R50 has a flash. Best affordable RF lens for the Canon R6 Mark III. All the STM lenses are really nice. Zohab, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate you. God bless you. 3 viewers on YouTube, you guys. 3 viewers on YouTube. I'm from Portugal. Hello from the United States. I have a Sony A7 IV and I might change to a Lumix S1R2. I like the S1R2. Why do you want to change from Sony to Lumix? Joey Jersey. Yeah, I think you're right, bro. It does need the adapter. I forget what AD1 I think it's called. Canon flash adapter. I forget the name of it. It's this thing right here. ADE1. Yeah, some Canon cameras need to have an adapter for flashes to work on it, unfortunately. And I would recommend getting the brand name, not the third party. Just because you don't want any more. And $45 is like pretty cheap. It sucks that you need it, but you need it. I'm having a hard time deciding between the Sony A1 and the A1 II. I don't know if the money... It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Open gate. Yeah, if you need open gate, dude. And also the price, man. The A1R... Or I'm sorry, the... What is it called? The Lumix. That camera is sick, bro. The Lumix S1R2. This camera is phenomenal, man. Look at this price, dude. 44 megapixels. 4K 120 uncropped. 6K open gate. Unstoppable, kids. Unstoppable. Should I choose the Sony 64 or the R50? The 6400 has better lens options. It also records in S-Log. The only thing about the 6400 is it has that stupid flip up screen. If you're okay with that, that's fine. I like the R50, but the R50 lenses are more expensive. You have less options, I should say. What up, Preston? Opinions on the 1DX Mark II. How's your day going? Day's going pretty good, man. It's noon. It's noon. I'm streaming. I've gotten 17 new followers. Life is good, bro. The YouTube live, I got 2 viewers in here right now. Can we use a Canon trigger on the camera shoe to trigger the speedlight wireless so we don't need a flash? I don't know. I've never done it. Focal point photo, thank you for the follow. Yeah, for those of you guys that are in here in TikTok and in YouTube, if you haven't followed or subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I'm currently multi-streaming. Oh, and I have sound effects. Yeah. Still learning how to use the sound effects. The only one that I got so far is a fart and a wow. Just get third-party triggers. I don't like getting third-party stuff typically. If the first-party stuff is a couple dollars more, I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine. It's not worth the headache, especially when it comes to batteries too. You know what I'm kind of thinking about doing, guys, is creating like a camera. I don't want to say it's interactive, but like a whiteboard with a bunch of different cameras on it, where like people, I can demonstrate. I'll create it on Canva or something, where I can like show people depending on what they want to do, what camera path they should take. Kind of like a skill tree, you know, like on a video game. I use third-party lighting, never had issue. Yeah, I guess I'm talking about batteries, I'm talking about lenses, remote controls, not necessarily flashes and stuff like that. But your experience is not the same experience that everybody else has had, right? So when it comes to third-party batteries, I've had issues with them and they're not worth it to. So if I can afford first-party stuff, I always tell and recommend getting first-party stuff. Always. What's your opinion on the Sony A6000? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Which wireless camera microphones do you recommend? DJI. DJI. Canon flashes are too expensive. They are expensive, man. They are expensive. They are expensive. The flashes that I use for, I don't do a lot of flash photography, but when I do, they are a cheap brand from Newer. And I only use them like once a year, and I've had them for like 4 or 5 years. Maybe a couple times a year. Do you buy lenses new or used? Both. Hey, I have a Canon R100 with a camera kit lens, and I'm looking to upgrade to a better... Malik, how long did you have your R100, bro? Check out the R7. Yeah, check out the R7 or the R8. Both of those are significant upgrades. For like almost a year now. A year's pretty good, bro. Year's pretty good. Yeah, check out the R7 or check out the R8. I like both of those cameras. The R7 is coming out. The R7 Mark II, the new one, is coming out here shortly. I own both of these cameras that I'm talking about too, by the way. They're pretty good. The R8 is definitely going to be a little bit more like prosumer, consumer leaning. And the R7 definitely has a lot more pro features, but the R7 is still a crop sensor. How to light for content shooting? New may be LED. How to light for content shooting? A 3-point lighting setup. Alicia Renee Photography says, I'm ready to go mirrorless. Have a Canon 5D. What would you recommend? Mainly shoot R6. R6 Mark II, R6 Mark III. Do they have foldable screens? Yes, they do. They have articulating screens. Yes, they do. I have a Canon R100 as well, Malik, so that's why I'm kind of laughing at it. Full frame versus crop sensors, the difference in video quality, too big of a controlled environment. There's a big difference. There's definitely a big difference between a crop sensor and a full frame sensor. No debate, R8 is more for photography than videography. I would definitely disagree. I think the R8 is really captures some really nice video, dude. Really nice video. Truthfully, I own both of these cameras, the R7 and the R8. I never use my R7 for video, ever. Ever, ever, ever. I use my R8. I used it for an entire project one time for hybrid. Is the R7 or the R8 better? The R7 has the larger battery. So let's do this, guys. Let's look at this one. Whoops, hold on. So if I go to the Canon R7, guys, I encourage you guys to do this as well. Go to this website, bhphoto.com, and use their compare feature. And put these cameras, not only can you see them side by side in terms of the prices, but you can see there, this is the problem. The R7 and the R8 are the exact same price, which makes it super confusing. The R7, though, I'll tell you, has the larger battery, has an APS-C sensor, has IBIS, it has more megapixels, and it has dual SD card slots. The R8 has a really, really nice full frame 24 megapixel sensor. It has a rinky dinky battery, and it only has one SD slot. I've never used my R7 for video whatsoever. I use my R7 for when I'm taking like photos of birds and shit at the park and like sports and stuff. The R8 I've used a lot more for portrait photos, and also I did an entire project on the R8 for video. Is the ZV-E10 II worth buying? Fucking right it is, dude. What's a cheap but still good full frame camera? Preferably Canon R8. Canon R8 for sure. It got cold in my room, guys. That was fast. It was warming up there for a second. 3 viewers on YouTube. All right. Video wise, should I go with the R5 II or the R6 III? Ooh. Unless you really need open gate, I would definitely go with the R5 II. The R5 II is a better camera, in my opinion. If you can afford the R5 II, go for the R5 II. I have checked Canon R7 Mark II videos, improvement shooting. Yeah, I think those are all rumors right now. I say full frame is usually better than crop sensor, but I'm between the Ace. Between those two, is the A7C2 in that conversation? EOS R8 or R6 are the best to start. Yeah, the R6 is nice for sure. It's Joey, it's really what you need, right? Like some people might really value the larger battery and the dual SD card slot and also the IBIS. The original R6 is about the same price though. It's about $1,500. I do like Nikon Zs, yes. I've bought a Sony A64. Any tips? Use it. Use it. Or RP if you don't like sports. The RP I stopped recommending as well as the R like 2 years ago, unfortunately. Nah, just the A7C1. I don't know. I like the A7C1 for photos for sure. Is what I would recommend. But I'm telling you guys, go to bhphotovideo.com and add these cameras to your comparison list, you know? It's exactly what I do when I'm looking at cameras and what people are looking for. It's still better with the Rebel line. Yeah, but the Rebel line that's a really low bar, Joey Jersey. Come on now, man. Come on, broski. Yeah, it's definitely better than the Rebel line. I can't believe they still sell the Rebel line. That's not a fair comparison, man. Come on. That's like a You know what you were doing with that comment, Joey Jersey. That's like saying it's better than a potato. Well, yeah, no shit. It's better than a potato. It's better than not having a camera. Rebel XT. I don't even know what camera that is. Goal. 10 super chats. 1 super chat. Let's do 1 super chat. Teal and higher. Let's do 2. Let's do 1 hour. Control copy. Why not? 1-on-1 Q&A. Q&A. Start goal. Why not? It's better than an iPhone. It is better than an iPhone. Joey Jersey, thank you for the follow, Joey Jersey. Appreciate you. 4 followers on the YouTube. All right. The followers on YouTube, man. 99 viewers over there. Good shit. Viewer activity, stream health, shopping, stream settings, analytics. I had an issue today with my stream where I went live first on TikTok and then I couldn't go live on YouTube after. So I had to end my stream and then start my stream on YouTube and then do a stream on TikTok. These are the little problems that you run into, that you figure out. I also had an issue that one of these cameras was on 4K versus 1080, and then my my capture card had an issue. So I have to set all my cameras to full HD, 1080. But the 1080 stream still looks really good. Should I buy an A7C and a Viltrox 85F2 Evo for hybrid needs? Do it, man. Do it. Do it and see what happens. The 85F2 sounds nice. I have an 85F2 for Canon, and it's a macro as well. And that's really, really nice. Does anybody in here shoot with macro lenses? I have a 24 macro, a 16 macro, a 34, 35, and an 85 macro. And the 85 is definitely something special. A little bit of chromatic aberration, but that's okay. Fringing, I should say. Yeah, a little bit of fringing. Forum Studios, what up? What up, Forum Studios? Yeah, let me check out Canva for a second. He said, "Do it and see what happens." I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, dude. An A7C is nice. I find, Jay, truthfully, man, that a lot of people that are asking for recommendations, they just need somebody to give them permission. They just need somebody to tell them, do it. Because most of the time when you guys are coming in for camera and gear recommendations, you guys already did all the research. You guys are just too chicken shit to pull the trigger on your own. You know what I mean? It's like, just fucking do it, man. Just do it. Sincerely, though, have any of you guys, if any of you guys and or gals, have you guys regretted any camera purchase that you've made? Like, maybe not 6 months or a year down the line, but like immediately when you got the camera. When you finally made the decision, you bought the camera, you had it in your hands, and you're like, oh, I regret this purchase. You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to anybody? Hey, Piano Finger, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Bro, we're trying out, Piano Finger, we're trying out a new kind of live on YouTube. It's all right, man. It's pretty good. TikTok is definitely always more popular, but today is my second day going live on YouTube. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. How'd that job go? The job in the building we were at. It's validation. Exactly, Jay. Exactly what it is. It's either validation or what they're looking for is if it goes wrong, they want somebody to back up their decision. And if it goes wrong, they can point at me. They'd be like, you told me. But the fact is, that's why I can say confidently, just do it. Just see what happens. The chances of you hating your decision are very, 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 very low, man. I bought some anamorphic lenses recently that I sent back. Why didn't you like them? Which ones did you buy? I've never purchased any anamorphic lenses, but since I got the C50, I've been looking at like checking out some lenses like that. The job went great. We just went back for another project recently. Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw that they finally opened up the doors and like people are starting to come in. I don't think it's fully staffed yet, so it's still like, you know. I actually got a video project in City Hall tomorrow with the firm that I work for. Got to record them. Thank you, man. No problem, LHN. Sony A7 IV, the A7R. Bro, recently I saw that the prices were pretty similar. I think I would go with the A7R IV. Those megapixels are really, really tempting. Need an advice on a wedding video lens to buy, and Canon shooter have an R and a 6D Mark IV. You should get an EF 24 to 70. 24 to 70. Or an EF 16 to 35. 16 to 35 on EF or 15? Right now I have a Sony 6100 and a 55-210, but I want to upgrade to a Tamron 28 to 200 for sport. Should I? If it's a constant aperture, I would check it out for sure. I bought the Surae 50mm from Amazon. I went back and bought the Blazer set that I like better. Congrats on all the work also. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. It's with the same, you know, I have a full-time job, Piano Finger, as a content creator for that firm. So I don't get to work with them as often as I'd like to. It's a full-time job, but what I mean is like my favorite part of the job is actually recording them, taking photos of them. And this past week, we needed to update their entire website. And I got a chance to do photo session with them, an interview session with one of the partners. And on Monday, I have another session with the three of them again, recording them, capturing some B-roll of them walking in City Hall, doing their job, you know, stuff like that. I also did buy the Surae set, but they weren't anamorphic lenses. I got the Sniper series. I have the Sniper series from Amazon over here. Was it these ones? These ones. Yeah, I bought this kit right here. I think they were worth it, man. These aren't anamorphic, though. These are just APS-C lenses. I am using the C50. I'm going to be using the C50 in City Hall with the 15 to 35 and a gimbal. I might not use the gimbal. I probably will. I probably will. Yeah, I probably will, but I don't know. The gimbal is kind of a pain in the ass to like set up and stuff. I have been using the R6 along with, yeah, the R6 is nice, dude. Yeah, I use so I like the R6 and the C50 combo as like, you know, a dedicated video cinema camera, and then the R6 as a B cam for like primarily photos. I used the R6 the other day for strictly photos, and I wish I looked at the photos, looking back at them, and I'm like, man, what happened here? And I realized that I was using the R6 instead of the R6 Mark II that I have. And I'm not saying that the R6 Mark III is bad for photos in any sense of the word whatsoever, but I always use my R5 Mark II for photos, always. And I noticed that I was like, I noticed the difference, I guess is a better way to say it. Joe, is that Tamron 28 to 200, is that a constant aperture? It doesn't sound like it. Tamron 28 to 200. Oh, also, Piano Finger, this is like my setup, bro. You can see on YouTube my my office space. It's a little bit of a mess, but it's like a peek behind the curtain kind of thing, right? Kind of cool. I think it's cool. Over on TikTok, they see I have 2 cameras set up right here, 3 actually. One of them is the top down here, where you can see my another angle of my desk and shit. And TikTok does also get to see that. And then this one over here is because what I'm doing on here is just basically helping people. What up? What up? Talking to people about camera gear and shit. A lot of people want to ask questions, man. I am loving the setup. Appreciate it, broski. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is my little little office. It's my second bedroom in my apartment, and it looks like a mess because it is a mess. Because it is a mess. You have been killing it for years. Been trying, bro. Been trying. Slowly growing this out, man. Slowly growing this out. I appreciate the words of encouragement and the kind words. Hello, Vic. Hello. Who are you, stranger? Where else do you stream? I'm currently dual streaming, multi-streaming they call it, over on YouTube. And if you're interested in that, you can get it by going to the link in bio in my profile. Oh yeah, that's a 6-bay NAS. One of the best investments that I ever made, especially this year, because as you know as well as I do, that the SD card prices are ridiculous right now. The SSD prices are also ridiculous, dude. The T7 right now, did you see the prices of the T7? Dude, Samsung T7 4TB. Bro, I couldn't believe it, dude. Look at this. Like, what? I have like 3 of these. I couldn't believe it, dude. When I saw it was $800, holy shit. Anyways, I'm fortunate that I bought that NAS like 2 years ago because it saved me. Instead, I used to buy these all the time, but now I'm like more like cognizant of like backing up my stuff and then reusing my old SSDs for like editing and shit like that, you know? Photo Point, quick follow, good vibe. Appreciate it, Focal Point Photo. Appreciate the follow. Also, yeah, if you're not following already, consider doing so. I go live all of the time, broski. Go live all the time, just hanging out, answering your questions. I also do multiple kinds of streams. When the weather gets a little bit warmer over here where I am, I'm going to be strapping you guys to my chest and going live doing like street photos and stuff and like taking you guys behind the scenes. And then I'm going to be taking those photos and then going live and editing them with you guys for the people that are interested in learning how to edit or learning how I edit, you know, stuff like that. The 64 gig RAM I bought for my NAS went from, yeah, bro, crazy prices right now. I have, in there, it's a 6-bay. It's a 6-bay, and when I bought it, I had not overspent, but I was at my budget. And I only got 8 terabytes. So 8 times 6 is 48 terabytes. And then I have a RAID 0, I forget. So half of that or whatever it is. Anyways, what I should have done back then is I should have bought the 12s or the 16, but they were like a little out of, now they're crazy expensive. I have the T7s and T9s also, and I was shocked. Yeah, dude, the prices on them right now are crazy. Dawa, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What are we at, guys? All right, we're coming up. What camera are you recording with right now? On TikTok right now, I'm using a Canon R10 and a 23mm Sigma lens. The 23mm Sigma lens is pretty nice, guys. I really like it a lot. I'll show you guys. Anybody that has the anybody that has a crop sensor lens, you guys, I absolutely recommend the Sigma 23. This lens right here. It's available for Canon RF, Fuji X mount, L mount, and E mount. They are really, really good. Piano Finger over on YouTube says, I have a 416 TB. Nice, dude. And two 2TB name drives that also bought in October. I wouldn't be able to. Exactly, dude. Exactly, dude. I have, yeah, storages. And for like content creators like you and I, man, we run into storage issues all the time, right? Where you have to manage all this stuff because it gets out of hand really fast. So what I'm telling people really to do if they can't afford a NAS is to try to buy HDDs as like hard storage and then just offload everything onto them and then store them away, you know, if you want to keep your old files and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the NVMe drives are getting crazy, crazy expensive. I did recently buy Piano Finger, the 45 millimeter f1.2. It's really nice, man. It's a little soft at 45. I mean at f1.2, but it's a $500 lens. I pre-ordered it the month that it came out, and it took like, I just got it like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, but it's actually really nice. Yeah, the 45 RF. I'm pairing it with the Canon R8. And I'm positioning this as like a really nice, like entry level budget portrait lens. Christian from YouTube says, I'm a new photographer and planning to buy a speed light but needed an adapter to the ADA one but couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, it's sold out in a lot of places. I saw that too. When I got the R6 III, I sent it back and got the 24 to 105 instead. I didn't like it for me. You didn't like the R6 Mark III? Oh, you had the 45. You had the 45. That's a big jump, dude. 20. You had the 24 to 10. You had the 45, and you sent it back to upgrade to a $3,000 lens. That's a solid trade. That's a solid trade, bro. I'd make that trade every day. Is the XT33 good for travel? Hell yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that camera a lot. The XT30 for sure. Fujifilm XT30 3. Yeah, it's really nice. If you want to get a new lens later on for Fujifilms, the kit lens. What's the kit lens? The 13 to 33. What I would do if you already have the kit lens, who said that? It's really Mikey. If you like this kit lens, what I would do is focus and spend some time or pay attention to what focal length within that 13 to 33 millimeter you like the most. And then how you do that is really by like importing all your photos into an editing software and seeing the metadata. And you'll be able to see what focal length each picture was taken at. And if you just make a note of where you naturally fall or what focal length you use the most, then that's a good indication of what focal length you naturally like, right? You like naturally go to, and then buy that prime. That's what I would do. Whoever said my purchase would make, I feel you, bro. I'm the exact same way, man. I'm the exact same way. It's like sometimes they don't gotta make sense. This Fujifilm X-T30 looks mean though. Look at this thing, dude. This looks sexy AF, bro. Look at this. It looks super tactile, you know? There's something special about Fuji's, man. Best camera for 900 bucks. What are you looking at, Daka? Hello, ZZB over at YouTube. Is it ZZBS? I don't know how to say your name, bro. Hello, hello. I want to stay with Nikon, but I can't decide on which camera to get next. What are you trying to do, Samantha? What do you currently have? Do you recommend the 30 RF lens? The Sigma 30? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. The Sigma 30 is nice. The Sigma 30 on a crop sensor, what is that? 16 plus 30 is 46 millimeters. It's a nice portrait lens. Why Fuji so hyped? Fuji's just nice, dude. Fuji's nice. Fuji's unique, man. They got those film recipes that are really cool. They look cool. I have a Fuji film myself. You guys want to see it? Whoops. You guys want to see my Fuji? This is the Fuji X100VI. Whenever I just want to do like photography and like do nothing else except focus on composition and like and shit like that, this is what I grab. Why is it not focusing? There it is. I need to do whole area autofocus on this camera up above here. But yeah, but this is a proper camera, dude. Strictly for photography, nothing else. It has a rangefinder, viewfinder on it, which is really cool. Any recommendations for fisheye lenses for F mount? Looking to shoot more interesting photo shoots. F mount? The brown dial is so nice. I don't know. What is F mount? I'm confused between Sigma 30 and Canon 45. Both are good. Both will be good. It's an old Nikon DSLR. Got it. Yeah, I don't have much experience with like older lenses. Like I've never even heard of F mount. Mostly landscape for myself, but portrait photography is what I love. Okay, and you like Nikon? What do you currently have though, Samantha? If you like Nikon, stick with Nikon. I'm trying to get a cheap but good camera setup for plane spotting for my birthday. Any ideas? R50V. Oh no, R50, I'm sorry. F mount is for Nikon. Thank you, Charles. I see. Yeah, but if you want like a, you know, fisheye lens, just get as wide as you can. I'm sure they have like a 9mm, 7mm, 12, 11. Nikon Z5. And what's wrong with your Nikon Z5? Did they recently upgrade it or something? Sometimes we don't even need to upgrade, you guys. Sometimes all we need to do is get a new lens. You'd be surprised how much a new lens really brings your camera back to life. Yeah, if there's nothing wrong with this, dude, just keep using it and get a newer lens. Get like a nice 35mm or 50mm or 20. Yeah, I would do 35mm. Yeah, I would stick with the camera and just get a brand new lens. What lens do you currently have? Is it the kit lens? Look at this. This 50 f1.4. This would be nice. Yeah, I would get something like this. Now I have a Sony Nex 3 because of you. It's a good thing though. What do you think of the camera, dude? I see the one I currently have is 16mm not good enough? Also, should I You should search Acro J. It's a pretty cool film camera. The only film camera that I've ever used is the Sony AE1. It's from 1970. You guys want to see that camera? I'll show you. I got it right here. My sister actually gave me this camera. A Canon AE1. 1970. It's a film camera. It's made out of pure like metal. Like I think if I throw this at somebody, it would really hurt them. Cameras are cool, man. Cameras are really cool to me. Yeah, can't go wrong with an AE1 exactly. They're readily available. Like for 200, 300 bucks, you can get a really nice looking one. What do you recommend for the R50 RF lens? I already bought the 35. Oh, Christian, you should check out the Sigma RF lenses, bro. They are really fucking nice, Christian. Really nice. I have all of them except the newest one that just came out, the 15mm. I don't even know if that's out yet. It did just get announced, though. But that one is really nice, dude. Yeah, the Sigma RF lenses are really, really nice. And they're pretty affordable. I have that one too, but I think mine is broke. Oh, bummer. Did you like the 50? For portraits, that's really nice. You know, an 85mm is really nice. Is this setup Go Canon Rebel Series T5, T6, T7? $500 Canon? I wouldn't buy any Rebel Series camera. The camera rabbit hole is fucking deep, bro. Like the ocean. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome. You made it. By the way, right now, you were looking at a fisheye. I know that this isn't fisheye. What you're looking at, this is a 12mm. I'm talking to the people over on YouTube. On TikTok, you guys are watching me on a 23mm. This is, for those of you who are asking, Christian, you guys can't see, but on TikTok, you're on YouTube. On TikTok, I have a 23mm. And this is, for me, at this distance, it's a really nice focal length. And then wide, 12mm is, you can't see any bending on the edges, which is cool, like any warping. So is the Nex 3 E-mount? I don't know. I don't know, actually. Sony Nex. It should clearly say it, bro. Do you have it in your hand right now? It should clearly say E-mount. This camera's $150. It's crazy. Let's see. I think it is an E mount. Complete your kit with compatible accessories. Sony E. Yeah, it looks like it's an E mount. It should be labeled on your... Look, it should say like right here. It should say like E mount. It should. It should say it. It looks like on this one it did say it at one point. 14 megapixels. Look at that, you guys. Would you rather a Hasselblad or a Leica? I would get a Leica for sure. So that way I can be all fancy with a Leica. Just using a ZVE 10 for now while I wait for the A7 IV. I learned Wii. 4 viewers on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? It's quiet over there. Prime lenses are more fun in my opinion. I also like prime lenses, dude. Zoom lenses. The zoom lens that I recently liked though is this one for the Canon R for the crop sensor bodies. This is a 17-40 right here, and this is an f1.8. 17 to 40 f 1.8. Forget about it, man. This is a really, really nice combo. Yeah, exactly. That's why I bought it. It's the lens is a little expensive. It is a little expensive. But I think it's worth it. Sigma 17. You guys want to guess the price on it? No, not as expensive. We've got some $1,300 guesses. Tengo el mismo lente, el mismo filtro. It's nice, bro. It's nice. What's a good camera lens for the ZV-E10 for shooting cars dealership vids? I like probably the 18 to 50 would be nice. 500. No. More. This is USD, by the way, guys. Seth, what up, Seth? Is that the Sigma 24? No, this is the 17 to 40. F1.8 Art. I have a M50 and I feel like the video isn't stable. How can I improve this? Put it on a tripod. Is the 55 to 210 good? It is not. It is not good. For those of you guys that are just joining on TikTok, welcome in. We're just talking about lenses, camera gear, and all kinds of stuff. Content creation really is what I wanted to talk about today, but if we want to talk about cameras, that's totally cool too. If you guys see something in the comments that you guys know you can answer, feel free to jump in. Same thing for YouTube. You guys are quiet as fuck over there. Hello, 3 viewers on YouTube. Hello. Feel free to jump into the conversation. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Is the Sony ZV-1 good for beginners? Yes. I think, truthfully, man, any camera is good to get started, bro. Ooh, Pedro. Yeah, the 35 to 150. I like that lens, dude. It's a little expensive, but I do like it. They did come out with a new one that I was really looking at, and I don't think it'll come out for my camera, but I might pick it up for the Sony. 35 to 100 f 2.8. Think I might shift to TikTok. Just stumbled across your account. Feel free, man. I try to meet people where they are, and I try not to encourage people to go to one or the other unless they want to check out the wide angle of the camera gear. But yeah, TikTok is the same. Do I have YouTube link to my TikTok? I don't know. I'd have to check it out. But over here, there's 19 people. Hello, TikTok. 19 peeps. Just joined. What's your thoughts on the Sigma 24 to 70? I love it. I love it. Christian, can you give me some advice for your point of view on what do you shoot through your camera? I'm not sure what you're asking, Christian. You don't know what to shoot? I would just focus on, if you have no idea what to create and you don't have like any active gigs, like people paying you, and you just want to create stuff, I would just focus on creating B-roll shots. The B-roll shots that I like to do are like making coffee, making breakfast, getting ready with me, getting ready for the day, packing a backpack, you know, just creating those fake scenes and filming them in different angles, taking them into the editing room, into your editing software, and then editing them. And then seeing, hey, this shot sucks. Or this shot could be better if I did this, and then doing it the next day. So that's kind of what I do when I have nothing to shoot. I also use my cats a lot. I use my cats as subjects because they move fast, they don't stay still, and they kind of move around and shit, you know? So that's kind of what I do for when I don't have a. And you can also ask AI. It's like, hey, I don't have any active projects right now, but I want to practice my filming. What are some shots? And some will be good, some will be bad. But like cleaning up your bathroom, that's another one. Cleaning your apartment or cleaning your room, trying to film it cinematically is like those are really good ways to practice your filming when you got nothing really to no subject to shoot. You know. Over on TikTok, I'm thinking of getting a new USM lens, but I think I can only buy RF mounts. What would you suggest? Depends on what you're shooting. I have a Canon RP body and two STM lenses. One is a 50 and the other is a 24 to... I mean, the STM 35 is really nice. The 24 is really nice. If you want like really nice L series glass, that's pretty expensive. If you can afford it, though, I would recommend the 24 to 70. Solid. Ken is asking, Ayo, sir, I have an XT32. Sick, dude. What would you suggest for portrait and video? 50 millimeter. I was just looking at that. The Nikon Z5. Yeah, I would check out the 50 millimeter. f1.4. It's a kit lens, but... yeah, a nifty 50 is always a solid option. Do you have a full-time job? My full-time job is as a content creator, so I work full-time as a content creator. Have you tried using those magic arms and film your talking photos? Yeah, I have used magic. I use expensive magic arms. You guys want to see mine? The one that I use for my cameras. This is my magic arm. These are the ones that I use for my talking videos whenever I need a magic arm. For reference, do I have a cheap one here? This is what people normally use. This thing right here. These are like the normal magic arms that people like really like, and they're pretty good. But this is what I use. Big Chungus. How do you charge your clients on gigs, especially your first ever client? Depends on what value you bring. How much money do you want to make, Christian, like per client? And then charge them that. What's the inch comparison? Oh, I don't know. What brand is that? Here, I'll show you guys. Let's see. Newer, what is it called? Oh, here we go. UA018. Let's see if that comes up. Yeah, here it is. So this is the big one that I was using. Small Rig makes one as well. And can you guys see that? Yeah, Small Rig makes one as well. I have one from Small Rig, from Newer. They're the exact same. They're literally the exact same. And this'll definitely carry, like, you know, I wouldn't put my $4,000 rig on a little rinky-dinky magic arm. You versus the guy she told you. Yeah, so I have the Newer one, which is the one that I just showed you in my hand. And I think they cost about the same. So if I go over here, like this is the Newer brand one that is like really robust. And it has this crazy clamp over here that is like, you can literally put it almost on anything. And this is the other. And Small Rig makes these ones as well. Small Rig and Newer, they all kind of make the same shit. But this guy right here, this is Big Chungus, dude. I'll put my big ass camera on this guy any day. Not on this one. Definitely not on this one. What DSLR camera you recommend for OBS capture? R50 and R50V is what I recommend. That's what I'm using right now, actually. Right now I'm using a Canon R10 for this TikTok. And I'm using an R50 for YouTube right now. My problem is that I spend more on gear than I charge clients. Yeah, there you go. That is a problem. That is a problem. You need to charge your clients more, bro. Canon is better than Sony. Canon is better than Sony. And it's not even close, guys. It's not even close. According to Canon, Canon is number 1, you see? You see? I don't make the rules. Based on a Canon survey, Canon is number 1. Not just for 1 year, bro. For 23 years in a row, Canon is number 1. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, man. You've seen it for yourself, dude. The Nerdy Entertainer. What up, Nerdy Entertainer? Got another YouTube comment, boys. That's Canon. Exactly, dude. I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. Bro, it cannot get any, I don't know, it cannot get any clearer than this, right? It's right here. It's right here. I don't see a Sony survey that says Sony's number 1. Do you guys see a Sony survey? This is from Canon USA official. Look, they even have a check mark. See, they got a check mark and everything. See? How do you argue with that? How do you argue with that? You can't. The Nerdy Entertainer, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Really appreciate you, bro. I got a Canon R50, and what's the next upgrade? I shoot sports. Probably an R7 if you want to upgrade your camera. If not, get a new lens, man, like a 70-200, an f2.8. How long have you had the camera? I've had Canon cameras for like 6 years now. And what sport and lens do you shoot with? I don't shoot sports very often, but when I do, I use my 70-200. I'm good. How are you? I'm great, bro. I'm great. Just learning how to stream on YouTube. Just getting better and better. Trying to practice every day. I have a 5D Mark IV. Should I go 5D Mark IV or go mirrorless? That's up to you, man. People that are in like the 5D DSLR cameras, man, they are so resistant to go mirrorless. They are so resistant. I've never met so, like, reluctant, I should say. Like, they're apprehensive. And, like, they don't want to do it because they feel like they're abandoning what they know. I would get the R5, the Mark 1 R5. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with your decision. Hello, what should I buy if I want something like a Kodak Pix Pro, but cheaper? I don't know how much you can get cheaper than a Kodak Pix Pro, bro. I just learned that shaving your color grade, it's so arbitrary. It's based on the person's editing. Yeah. Yeah, it's based on the person's filming, too. Will my lenses still fit also? Your EF lenses, you'll need an adapter. But the adapter from Canon is pretty... I think it's about $150. Canon EF2 RF adapter. Yeah, yeah, 150. Look, I guessed it. You would need this, and then this will allow you to put all of your EF lenses on your RF camera, so you don't have to restart with all your lenses. This one doesn't do anything. They sell another one like this one that will add the control ring if you're interested in it. Canon RF lenses have a third ring on the lens that allows you to map it to whatever function you want. Like, it could be your aperture, it could be your shutter speed, it could be your ISO. It could also be something else, but I forget what it is. But anyways, if you want that controllability on your EF lenses, you need to get this one versus this one that doesn't do anything. Cheers, man. I hope you have a good day. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. So you record an S-Log and convert to Rec 709 to get the cinema look? I don't do any of those things. When I record an S-Log, I mean, usually this right now, I'm in just a standard profile. And typically most of my stuff that I create, with the exception of some creative things, like the last thing I color graded, guys, I'll show you, was this. The last thing I color graded was this video right here. Hold on one second. Let me pause this. I added like a Joker color grade to this. And it's like, this is a subway station in the city where I live. And I added like a green Joker Matrix-y style color. She was really nervous. She did good though. So that was the last thing that I color graded. I don't do a lot of color grading very often. Most of my stuff is straight out of camera. Except for photos. I will color grade photos, of course. But video wise, rarely. I did this project last year sometime. Yeah. One of the best relationships I built was with a makeup artist, because she always has like little projects for me and shit. That is like really, really, they're interesting, you know, they're artsy. Something that I would never think of, you know? Like, I would never think of a concept like that. Is Canon R50 good for sports? The Canon R50 is fine for sports, yeah. Looking to get the Canon R7. I want the R6 Mark III, but I'm not sure if the price difference is definitely worth it. Big Poppy Costa, 100%. What Mark 70 to 200 should I get? The newest one. If you can afford the newest one, get the newest one. So if I were to go mirrorless, 5D Mark IV, what would you recommend in a similar price point? The R5, the R5 Mark I. Which camera are those videos you were showing? The videos, this video right here, guys. You guys asking about this one? This one was shot, actually this one was shot with this lens and this camera right here. The 17 to 40 f1.8 with this camera. I have some other videos over here, but they're all, I use different cameras for everything. What camera should I buy for a cell phone, an iPhone? Isn't Fujifilm better than Canon? Nope. What's your VND? I use a K&F Concept VND on this camera. Yeah, it's a black diffusion VND. K&F Concept. I don't think they make it anymore, but I do know that they updated K and F. Yeah, I was using something like this. It's a black diffusion mist effect. They changed, the one that I have doesn't have this little dial anymore. Like they upgraded, but I'm using the 82 millimeter, this one. And that's what you see right here. I don't know if you guys will be able to read that, but it says right here, black mist filter. Is Nikon underrated? I think it's appropriately rated. What kind of photography would you recommend? A 50 millimeter lens? Portraits, for sure. Portraits on a full frame, 50 millimeter, is very natural to what your human eye can see. So 50 millimeters is just a nice everyday walking around kind of lens, but 50 is nice for portraits 100%. Be honest though, it gets a shit ton of hate. Yeah, it gets a shit ton of hate, but it's because it's really easy to hate on them. It's really easy to hate on Nikon. They just have really poor marketing budgets and public perception of Nikons. Even though the Nikons are great. The Nikon ZR, ever since Nikon acquired Red, their game is going to really improve. In terms of their appeal to the consumer. Thinking to get a Canon R7 linked up with a Sigma 7200 from MPB. You'll need an adapter. What think about the Canon M50? M50's nice. Thoughts on the 7300 RF lens? That lens is no good. Over on YouTube, Christian. I like the M50. Are you a video editor? I edit videos. I don't work as a video editor. I guess for my paid, like my full-time job, I do get paid to edit videos, but I'm not like a video editor. Thank you, leaving here, going to dinner. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you hanging out. Cool, thanks. Gonna get an M50. Cool. I will buy a Sony a7 IV with a Tamron 28. Do it. Do it. You won't. You won't. Sigma 30 millimeter lens, good or not? Good. Vishal Trick. Yeah, hell yeah. That I love that lens. I like the personally. I prefer the 23, but the 30 millimeter is nice for sure. Right now on YouTube, you guys are watching me on a 12 millimeter Sigma f1.4. That's a super wide, super duper wide. On TikTok, you guys are watching me on a 23 millimeter Sigma f1.4. Which software do you recommend for a beginner to learn and make money from it? Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro or DaVinci? Really any. Whatever you have access to. Premiere Pro is paid, so you have to pay to use it. Final Cut Pro is also paid. It's actually pretty affordable, Final Cut Pro, if you're an Apple user or a Mac user. DaVinci Resolve is free, and like 90% of what you'd probably need is free. The other 10% is more for like 10-bit video, I think. Like color grading 10-bit video. I got the R7. Which lens for plane spotting? Think about the Sigma 150 contemporary. That one's nice, especially for plane spotting. I've never used it, but the Sigma 150 to 600 is like really popular. Which starter lens should I buy for the Sony Nex3 that isn't too expensive? I'd probably get like a 50 millimeter. I think that lens, you could buy anything, dude. You could buy like a $200 lens. Buy anything. Buy anything to get started. Fantasy is asking, what kind of budget lens would you recommend to start with bird photography? At least a 70 to 200 or a 100 to 500. 4 viewers on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? How are you? How you doing? What's going on over there? 3 viewers. I just lost somebody because of that. I am going to bounce, guys. It's starting to be my lunchtime. For those of you guys on TikTok and on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out. If you haven't subscribed or followed, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll probably be back later on once I get some lunch in me. I'm going to do some organizing and optimize my Amazon storefront and also do some prep for tomorrow's shoot. Appreciate every single one of you. Christian, thank you again for stopping in. Who else is over here on the YouTubes that's been here all day? Not a lot of you. Anyways, appreciate you guys. I'll be back later. Toodles.